Essentially, if it was a 1v1 or a 2v2, you would jump into a duos or quads match and the individual or team with the highest kill count would win the prize pool. This is common in Fortnite and is often used by many of the top streamers to not only keep their audience engaged, but also to help keep them motivated playing the game when tournaments aren't happening. Epic has now banned all forms of wagers and has even sent personal emails to top streamers warning them they will be banned if they are caught engaging in said wagers. Ending this practice seems to be the cherry on top that once again got RIP Fortnite trending on Twitter.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E Report.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The Onside Zone.
Well, and look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it. You know what I mean?
The Onside Zone.
He's a liar. And there's nothing new about that. He's full of crap. If you're believing that, I got a bridge in the Keys. It's the one on the right side. Just want you to know, when you're going south, you'll see the smaller bridge on the right. I've got that one for sale if you're interested.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
That's the one boy band that I will say, dude, I'll stand up for Boys to Men every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Love those guys.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnsideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The Onside Zone with a big O.
All right.
I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home.
1983 football season brought the University of Miami its first national championship.
What do you say? What can you say, really, at this stage of the game? Well, you can talk about fulfillment, and you can talk about opportunity taken advantage of, and those kinds of things, because that's what the kids did. They fulfilled their dream, and they took advantage of an opportunity that comes along maybe once in a lifetime.
All right, let's go to work. Let's go to work.
It's almost impossible for me to tell you how proud I am of my assistant coaches, my football team, and everybody connected with our program for doing in 5 years what a lot of people thought couldn't be done ever.
There you go. Good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome aboard to the Onside Zone. You just heard there from Howard Schnellenberger. And I got to tell you, as a man that was able to enjoy his youth watching Howard Schnellenberger pace the sidelines for the University of Miami, and obviously that's, a lot of us know Howard as he continued, and people like Tito and stuff like that saw him at FAU, and we got to watch him as a Dolphin assistant because I'm old enough, and then obviously get the opportunity to coach the University of Miami and put the program on a path that was just the most magical time we've ever seen a program have here in South Florida, pretty much, because when you win 5 titles over a span of 18 years, it's impressive, right? 83 to 2001, right? That's about 18 years. And no one's ever done that here in South Florida. Okay, the Heat have 3 titles, but it's not over that as impressive as what the Canes were on during that time. The Dolphins have a couple titles, the Marlins have a couple titles, but there was nothing like that Canes football run, and it all started because of that man. And this is a legendary human being. This is a legendary coach. I got to know him a little bit more personally later on in his career when he was at FAU. I was at 640 Sports, and I did a stint there for 4 years. And during that time, he went to FAU and was building the program, and he got on a roll one of those years where they were just winning every week, and he was coming on my show every week. And he'll go, Orlando, you're my lucky charm, And so We would have fun, and he was such a nice man. He was a great individual, obviously a father figure to so many kids. To us as football fans, we're talking about a guy that is just godlike to us as football fans because of everything he did. He put the University of Miami program on a track to become a dynasty. He built the Louisville program and built them a stadium. Okay? I know his Oklahoma stint was short and it wasn't as impressive as some of his other stops. He resurrects he creates the FAU program where they also, by the way, built a stadium. I mean, I don't know if there are more people I don't know how many people you can find in the history of college football that have meant so much to the sport because he helped the sport in many different cities. Whereas, okay, certain coaches that stayed in one place forever and were institutions and helped build their programs up, Frank Beamer, all that kind of stuff. Yes, I get it. But here's a man that impacted several universities, and two of them didn't have football, and he helped create it and also put them on a path to get a stadium, and now they still have their programs. University of Miami football program was going to die if it wasn't for Howard Schnellenberger, pretty much. I mean, so it's interesting when you think about a guy that should be in the Hall of Fame, a first ballot Hall of Famer. If you've ever met a first ballot Hall of Famer, that's Howard Schnellenberger. How he's not there, I don't know. I can't answer it. But, these kind of injustices exist all over the world in many different areas in life. And this is one of them. I mean, Schnellenberger just has meant so much. And, personally for me, as a fan, I remember watching that game against Nebraska and just going absolutely nuts. And the town going nuts and the parade and all that stuff that we had going on. And unfortunately, we ended up losing because he got it's kind of like the Leonard Hamilton thing, right? The big leagues come calling and the money, and you got to go and you got to take on the new challenge and all of those things. And so that's understandable. I mean, Howard had worked already in the pros with Shula. So when the USFL comes a-knocking, you got to try to take on that challenge, and we understand that. And you go back, and those of us that lived that era, you go back to think about it. What if the USFL never came knocking? How long would have Howard stayed? How good could they have been? How long could the dynasty have kept going? Right? Because once he had it rolling, it was a whole different ballgame at that point. And he could have kept it rolling, obviously. Would have been really interesting to see, if you could go back into time and go back to that moment. And I'm sure if Howard, if we brought him back and took him back to that moment, he doesn't accept the USFL job, and he stays at the University of Miami, and he stays there to be. Now, if he stays there for a long time, then Louisville may never resurrect their program. They probably would have never accomplished all the things I know they have won national titles, but they've had success at Louisville. Okay? Since Howard built that thing up, they've had other coaches that have come in and have had a lot of success with that program, and they've had a lot of really good players go through it. So, yeah, no, there's several coaches, but my point is that he meant so much, you know what I mean? And look, FAU, it's you don't know if what's the name of the running back that played for Washington and
Alfred Morris.
Well, Alfred Morris. We don't get an Alfred Morris, dude. You know what I mean? It's like Alfred Morris would have gone somewhere else. We would have never really gotten to know him and be an FAU player and all that good stuff, and we would have never ever figured it out. And obviously they've had other players too go into the league. And it's cool to have that happen, and because of Howard. It's Howard that has been the linchpin to a lot of the things that have been triggered for certain programs in college football. And things like people like this, they don't grow on trees, man. Human beings like Howard Schnellenberger, they're not common. And they're not also open to taking on those kind of challenges. You know what it is to walk into Louisville and that you want to build up the program and get a stadium done, and you do it? And you come back to FAU, and we're going to build a football program and we're going to get a stadium and all that stuff, and eventually they end up with what they wanted because Howard was the guy that you got in order to be it was a different era for the University of Miami. You had Ron Frazier. The Wizard put college baseball on the map, not just the University of Miami. He didn't only make the University of Miami baseball program what it was and what it still is to this day, and the history and all of that, and relevant and fun to attend, and people wanted to be a part of the University of Miami baseball program, but Ron Frazier helped college baseball back in the day. And when you think of people like Ron Frazier and you think of the Howard Schnellenbergers of the world, they weren't just coaches. They were architects. They were people that brought others together to accomplish incredible things and to help give back to those universities and those players and those coaches. They're going to spend their time there for many years to come and bring a lot of enjoyment also to fans, because FAU's fans have had some pretty good moments. I know they're not winning national titles or anything, but they had some nice moments with Howard. They had some moments where they got on the map and got national notoriety thanks to Howard. You know what I mean? So the University of Miami program got on the map, got the notoriety, became the program it became because of Howard. Louisville, any of the successes that they've had over the last couple of decades, thanks to Howard. You know, these things cannot go under the radar, because it's not just a dude that walks in, coaches a bunch of players, grabs a check, and goes home and doesn't give a shit about anybody else. Howard Schnellenberger gave everything to college football and to many different programs and to all kinds of young men all throughout the decades. And if you want to see a coach that's revered, you want to see a coach that's loved by his players, loved by his assistant coaches, loved by administrators, loved by fans, it's the dude with the pipe. Everybody loves Howard, bro. You know, that's another everlasting effect that Howard Schnellenberger is always going to have. Everybody loves Howard pretty much. And I hope that while he's looking above at us now, I hope he's satisfied to know that we all love him. So, you know, it's a sad weekend. It's a sad time to know that he's left us. But you know what? His impact will be felt forever. Because as a 54-year-old man, he affected my life when I was an early teen. Okay? All right? In 83, I'm sitting there, and I'm 17 years old at that moment watching that game. And I was 16, actually. I'm sorry, because it was right at the beginning of the year, so I would have been 17 later on in the year. So I was 16. Watching that game and how much that changed. Because, I remember just getting to the Peach Bowl a couple years prior with Jim Kelly. We were, those of us that follow sports, and we follow the University of Miami, and we went to that stadium when it was half full in those days, or a third. Because it wasn't like in the days of Jim Kelly, when we would go to the Orange Bowl, it wasn't a packed house. Sorry to say, okay? If it was half full, must have been a pretty good team that was coming to town. If not, it was probably about a third, if anything. That's just the way it was. Joe Montana comes to town with Notre Dame, and there's 15,000 people or 25,000 people maybe in the stadium. But it's one of those deals where when you see what was there before, and those of you that are younger, FAU had nothing, and now they have something. thanks to that dude. And obviously the history of the University of Miami program, without that man, we don't have the 5 titles. Without that man, we don't get to celebrate 5 different parades. Without that man, you don't have all the great players that came through. Not just the ones that played on his team in '83, but all the other ones that came through. We couldn't brag about how much the University of Miami program has put so many players into the NFL. All of those kind of accomplishments, it started with one building block, and it was Howard Schnellenberger. Pretty amazing stuff, man. An amazing man. The good Lord has got a great one next to him up there. So if the good Lord's got to reconstruct anything up there, he's probably going to use Howard Schnellenberger to get it done, because that's exactly what Howard always did. He got it done, man. He got it done. Amazing, amazing human being. All right, let's take a quick break. By the way, I am staring at a beautiful shade, and a shade above Windows Fashion. I got to thank them, Andrew and all the great people over there at A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie. Call them 954-434-4774. And folks, A Shade Above teamed up with Bandalux, and they created this. They personalized it for us. Our onside radio shade. It's in beautiful pink and black. It's automatic too. It goes up and down with just a press of a button, folks. And let me tell you something. You can order this. That's one of the things that we've been trying to do in this studio, right? We get the polarized air filter because I want to obviously make sure that everybody is safe here, wearing their masks, and of course having a filter that is obviously killing all the bacteria that might be out in the air. And then at the same time, I don't want the employees to be dealing with, the brutal sun that comes in at times. It could be, so we got a shade. So if you're looking for your business, for your home to kind of protect, because this protects your furniture, this protects, this saves you on energy, because the AC works a little less because you got less heat coming in. If you want to order protection with style for your home or office like we did, A Shade Above Windows Fashion, 954-434-4774. Call them, tell them that Big O and Onside Radio sent you, 954-434-4774. Go to the website, ashadeaboveflorida.com. Hey, man, love the space you live in. A Shade Above Window Fashions.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
I'm Ryan Seacrest. First responders are people who stand for a greater purpose. They will be there for you when nobody else is, to help you, your family, your community. This is their selfless promise. This is their sworn duty, to protect, to serve, to help. They put themselves in harm's way for us. They come to the rescue at times when we need them most. First responders are making enormous personal sacrifices to keep showing up for us and fighting the good fight. Nearly 70% of all firefighters are volunteers. That means when they get injured or quarantined, they may not have a way to pay their rent or keep their family safe and fed. No matter who you are or where you live, when you call 911 and ask for help, first responders show up. Now, let's show up for the people who show up for us every day and every night.
Go to firstrcf.org and make a difference today.
At Baptist Health, we are ready
to serve, to treat,
to safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits with skilled surgeons,
advanced medicine,
and multidisciplinary teams.
We're ready for new arrivals
and new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
anything that comes our way
with exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health.
And we are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready
to care for you.
Take Onside Radio everywhere you go with the MyTuner Radio app. Download the free app and listen to your favorite OnsideRadio.com host. Go to your app store, download MyTuner Radio, and search Onside Radio, South Florida's sports station. You can connect with us at OnsideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. Save it on your cell phone, 844-416-8123. No better place to send your comments, ask questions, win prizes. OnsideRadio.com, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit moretoadhd.com for additional information. That's moretoadhd.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
Winner and new heavyweight champion of the world. Francis, how does that feel?
Oh, Joe, I don't know if I can find a word, a vocabulary to express this, but it feels so amazing, bro. You know, even though I've been fighting, winning fight, but I had this thing inside of me that I never released it. Since this was like a promise that I made to myself since when I was young, you know, to be one day in the first stage and to prove the doubter and people that thought that I was beneath them, that, you know, it wasn't my fault. And if ever I have an opportunity, I'll do something great and even better, even greater.
There you go. Heavyweight champ. What's Francis' last name? He beat
Ngannou.
He beat Miocic, right?
Miocic, that's right.
Yeah, Miocic.
Knocked the crap out of him.
Yep, I saw that. Now, you know what I was waiting for, right? When he says, "Hey, Francis," he goes, "The name is Psycho. If you call me Francis, I'll kill you." That would have, he does that, and I know people like Tito have no freaking idea what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're
Yeah,
talking
you
about.
never watched the movie Stripes, right?
Nope.
Because you're a loser. But that's all right. It's all right.
Stripes? When was that made?
It was made in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
You got to see Stripes with Bill Murray. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, another one for me to tack onto the list.
Right, that you'll never watch. But
Yeah,
whatever.
I'll get to it.
I mean, whatever. You know, it's all that caffeine
I almost
I
watched
had
Rocky this weekend. I almost
all
did.
that cough syrup, whatever it was. You almost watched Rocky? Almost.
It was close.
You know that almost only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes.
Yeah, I mean, I had it. It's
Okay.
on HBO Max, the whole Rocky collection, and then I decided to watch Dwayne Wade's Unexpected documentary.
Lisa Rose goes, "Please tell me he has seen Stripes." No, he hasn't. He hasn't. What can I tell you? I mean, and Stripes is great. I mean, seriously, you need to watch Stripes. It's actually a really, really funny movie. Okay? What can I tell you? But if he would have pulled that line, I would have loved it. I think the Dolphins should trade X-Man for a first-round pick and draft Surtain Jr. if possible. What do you think? I think, sir, you haven't been listening to this show for a while now. There's only one show that's been talking about that the X-Man could be traded. That's this one right here. But, yeah, I think anything's possible. Big O, I'm so happy that Greer made that big trade on Friday. My Eagles friends were speechless, and I still haven't heard back from them since the trade happened. We got revenge with the Eagles, what they did to us 5 years with that stupid-ass trade with Mike Tannenbaum, and I'm so excited that the draft being 1 month away from tonight. G from Pennsylvania. I'm with you, G. I'm with you. But they didn't, after all that trade stuff, they didn't get to keep Wentz. You know what I mean? So Ian from Brooklyn says, well said, Big O, in regard to Howard. Well, it's the only way to express it as a person that lived watching Howard grow here in many different ways. You know, I watched him as a Dolphins coach, I watched him as a Canes coach, and I watched him as the FAU coach. You know, you got to be pretty old to have witnessed that. I think I'm the only one on the air right now that can say that. Dono and Toast are too young to do that. I don't even know. Well, I know Dono didn't. I don't think Toast is even old enough to have watched Howard coach 83. He might have been an embryo, or he might have been 2 or 3 years old or something. I don't know what year Toast was born, but it must have been right around there, because I don't think Toast has got to be like right around 40, right? I would imagine. Imagine he's somewhere right around 40. I'm sure he's much younger than I am, at least 10 years. He's got to be somewhere in his early 40s. I don't know what it is. I got to ask Toast how old he is. But so to me, it's just something that I lived, you know. And so that connection with Howard runs deep for people of my age, because we experienced a lot with the man, and then we watched him obviously do a lot throughout his career. Just an amazing human being. We got Omar Kelly joining us at 12:30. Now, let me tell you something, and I think this is it's a subject that's kind of interesting, right? The trade, and I love how people try to break down the trade in different ways, and you can't do that, folks. And one of the things that I love about the trade over the weekend, or on Friday, right before we got off the air, which again was amazing, all that stuff going on while we were on the air, that you were able to basically move down 3 spots, pick up a first-round pick, move up a round from 4 to 3, and now you're going to end up with the same exact player that you wanted at 3. And that's a general manager saying, why am I going to stay at 3 if the player I want, I can get him a couple picks back? It behooves me not to actually make the move. Now, he couldn't get the compensation he wanted if he just moved a couple of spots down. So instead, he moves all the way down to 12 to pick up a mass of picks, so then he can move back up again and not give up that extra first-round pick and keep it, and keep the other pick where he moved up from a 4th to a 3rd round. I just thought it was so forward-thinking. And we haven't had a general manager like that here in forever. You know, Jimmy's the one that had the potential of doing things like that. Okay? But, wow, to me, that's where you get lost if you start to break down trades individually. Like I had some people, well, if you look at the chart, bro, kiss my ass with the chart. Some of you out there, do you guys ever think for yourselves? And ladies out there, do you think for yourselves? Or do you just repeat what somebody else wrote or said on the air all the time? Do you ever just think for yourselves? You know what I mean? It's somebody, the chart. Dude, I don't care about the chart, because the draft is different every year. You now know there's all these quarterbacks are going to get taken, and you know the first 4 picks are going to be quarterbacks. So the Dolphins already saw the future. And kudos to them that they understood what they had to do, and they went out there and acquired, they put themselves in position to drop 3 spots down to get one of the 2 players that they want anyway. It's extremely smart. It's ballsy. It has foresight. It's intelligent. It's also great planning. Not only do you end up with the same player, but now you sent another pick to the future. So now you've got multiple picks in the first round again and again. And we used to sit back for many years and be so pissed off because the Dolphins sucked. They had a terrible general manager. They had a terrible head coach. The owner didn't know what he was doing. And then we would watch the Patriots win and have all these compensatory picks and trade down and trade out and grab more picks. And we're sitting there going, how is it that the Patriots have all these extra picks and they keep winning and everything? And we're pissed off. So now that we actually have a general manager that is doing the same things that we used to see other teams do and we were jealous of, how do you not appreciate it? You know what I mean? It really is amazing to me. That's why the way you look at this trade is with a ton of intelligence and foresight and responsibility, because part of being the GM is being a custodian of your team. You have to look at the now and you have to look at tomorrow. And tomorrow, you've got all kinds of draft capital. Today, your team is as strong as it possibly could be because you've gone from 5 to 10 wins, and now you got a ton of picks to take it to the next level. It really is amazing. Okay? All right, we got to go to the break. One guy says, hey, I got my first shot of Pfizer vaccine. Good for you. All right. I love it. I'm a week removed from my shot now. So one more week, and I'm, not safe, but I'm safer. That's the way you got to look at it. All right, let's get to our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Omar Kelly next.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com. Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
If you missed Man of the Match with Alex Dano, you missed.
So Deshaun Watson has sat down with new Texans head coach David Culley. Did he have his teeth in for the interview, David? He's a little older.
Hold on, let me get my dentures in here, Deshaun. Deshaun, hey, just give me a second. We're eating this pineapple here. It's getting stuck in my dentures.
Was he watching Murder, She Wrote during the meeting?
Deshaun, it's getting a little late here. It's 7 o'clock. I got to go to bed soon, all right?
Deshaun, it's 4:30. I've got to go to the early bird special.
Deshaun, give me a second. I'm just taking my Metamucil here. If you just give me a second.
I've taken Metamucil before, actually. It works. I'm not even that old.
Man of the Match with Alex Dano, weekdays live on South Florida's home for sports talk, OnsideRadio.com.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Saturday mornings, 9 a.m., Sean Stanley hosts the Square Circle Digest.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here, I'm the man.
Now, wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers the very colorful world of wrestling. Tune in every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on the home for sports fans worldwide, OnsideRadio.com. Onside Radio continues to grow. To make your life easier, you can now find your favorite sports station by downloading the MyTuner radio app and listen to your favorite OnsideRadio.com host or catch a great Inter Miami CF match. Go to your app store, download MyTuner Radio, and search Onside Radio, the home for the South Florida sports fan.
Hello, Inter Miami CF fans. Download the Drink AR app and play inside a first-of-its-kind virtual soccer stadium, hosted by Bodega Trevento and Inter Miami CF, and celebrate your passion for soccer from the comfort of your own home. Find the download links on our Instagram account at Treventus and get our wines delivered straight to your home with a discount for all Inter Miami CF fans. Discover Trevento, a shared passion.
keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnsideRadio.com sports update.
Florida Panthers get the victory last night, defeating the Dallas Stars 4-1. The Panthers, however, did lose an important player in Aaron Ekblad, who had to be stretchered off with a knee injury. Coach Q says his injury timeline is, quote, extensive as it currently stands. There is no timetable for his return. The Panthers take on the Red Wings tonight at home. Puck drop slated for 7 p.m. The Miami Heat take on the New York Knicks tonight. The Heat will be without Victor Oladipo, who's listed as out with an illness. Kendrick Nunn has also been ruled out, while Goran Dragic is probable for tonight's game. Heat are a 4-point favorite according to Vegas. Tip-off is set for 7:30. And with your Onside Sports update, I'm Tito Bonacci. Coming up next, it's more of the Onside Zone with the Big O right here, OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Brace yourself. You might not hear what you want. You can always expect Omar to keep it real, whether you like it or not. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Sun Sentinel writer Omar Kelly. EJD is your one-stop shop, custom home builder, and general contractor for residential construction. Call them 305-433-4843. Find them on Facebook at EJD Construction. Here's Omar Kelly with your Miami Dolphins report segment.
All righty. Welcome back. We promised you it is time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Omar Kelly. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. More importantly, call my friends at EJD Construction if you're looking to redo that kitchen, maybe build up that man cave, the backyard. Call Eric right now and tell him that Omar and Big O sent you. 305-433-4843. Omar, how are you doing, my friend?
I am good, sleep deprived but alive.
Well, that's part of being a daddy. You've already been through this once before, so you know what it's.
I barely remember it though, bro. I really barely remember it. Or maybe it's just hit me different because I'm older.
Well, yeah, no, everything hits us different as we get older, bro. That's all part of the game. I'm feeling that too, man. So that's well, hang in there, my man. But you are blessed, so that's good. Beautiful wife and beautiful child. You know, it doesn't get any better than that, my friend. So that's the good thing. You know, the good Lord has blessed you on that one. All right,
yes, sir.
I think Dolphin fans are blessed too, bro. I think they're blessed to have a GM that's got foresight, intelligence, knows how to build for the now and still worry about the future. We haven't seen, you haven't covered a GM like this ever for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I can't. You're laughing.
It's true.
Now, I'll be thrilled when I see what they do with the selections. I love when you break down the math, and I did the math and I put it up on Twitter, just in terms of trade values. When you break down the math, Miami beat the 49ers for the equivalent of an extra first-round pick. So it was basically the equivalent of getting 3 first-round picks when it comes to trade value. Now, unfortunately, when they moved from 12 to 6, they basically gave up the equivalent of a second-round pick. So if you dominate one trade and then lose one trade just to get back up to 6, this tells me 2 things. Clearly, you have somebody in mind
of course.
At 6 that you want, that you target, or maybe a cluster of players. And I really think it's a cluster. I don't think they have any particular infatuation with one player. I think there's a cluster of players. The 2 Alabama receivers, Kyle Pitts at tight end from Florida, and maybe Jamar Chase. And if you haven't checked out the Sun Sentinel, please do, because I did a mock draft, my first, and I made a selection that I'm kind of uncomfortable with, but I did it because that would be the BPA for me. I selected Jamar Chase not to basically destroy the suspense or surprise, but Jamar Chase to me will be the second highest rated player in this draft. If he's there at 6, there's no way that the Dolphins can overlook that.
Yeah, well, see, in the end, this is what they did. They moved from 3 to 6, picked up a first-rounder, moved up a round from 4 to 3 to select the exact same player they would have at 3. Obviously, they felt like, hey, man, we can get the guy we want at 6. Why the hell are we going to draft at 3? And that's what I love about all of this. They probably couldn't get the compensation they wanted just to move down 3 spots, so they had to do this maneuvering. And in the end, they must have a conviction on a specific player. And here's the other thing that I love about this move. The balls and the foresight it takes also. Because, Omar, you've got to be convinced that the 4 quarterbacks are coming off the board for the first 4 picks. If you're doing that...
I still don't believe it's 4. I still don't believe it's 4. I think it's 3. But, yeah.
Who do you think? So you think Atlanta's not taking a quarterback?
I don't think Atlanta's taking a quarterback, and I really don't believe that Mac Jones is going to be selected that early.
Oh, no, I disagree with that part. I think it's Trey Lance. No, dude. Remember, Arthur Smith.
That's 3 quarterbacks. That's 3 quarterbacks.
No, that's 4. Justin Fields the third. Arthur Smith.
Okay.
Arthur Smith. Their new guy in Atlanta. Well, guess who he had? He had Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill and Trey Lance athletically are kind of the same dude. I think Arthur is going to run his offense, and since it works well with a guy like Ryan, he's going to grab Trey Lance, who has the same kind of skill sets, maybe a little better, but still same kind of skill sets, and he's going to use – I think it's Trey Lance at number 4, actually.
Why can't Justin Fields?
Because he's gone at 3. All right. Yeah, he's gone at 3, and then Trey Lance goes 4. That's what I think is going to happen, actually. I thought at first it would be the tight end because their history with tight ends – and Matt Ryan and all of that, I thought it was automatic. And I had Randy McMichael on, which he does afternoons over there in Atlanta. He's convinced that the tight end was going to go Pitts. But now there's a lot of talk of the quarterback, and that makes a lot of sense because Matt Ryan's 800 years old, dude. The arm's going to fall. At one point or another, you know how it is, Omar. They get old really, really quick like Drew Brees did last year. And I think it's going to be Trey Lance at 4 because Arthur Smith at Tennessee had the same kind of dude in Ryan. But what do you think about that? Makes more sense than Mac Jones. Makes more sense than Mac Jones, right?
I think these quarterbacks are artificially inflated, and I really have a hard time believing that a quarterback that's played one game is all of a sudden going to be a top 5 selection. There's just not enough film on that guy.
There wasn't enough film on the kid that went to New York. What's his name?
Zach Wilson.
No, I'm talking about the USC kid.
Sam Darnold.
Garcia. No, Garcia. There wasn't a lot of film on him either. He played. Is it Garcia or whatever? What's the name of the butt fumble guy? Mark Sanchez. Garcia, Sanchez. Yeah. I'm Hispanic. No. I can do it. They all sound the same.
Wow.
All right. Hey,
wow.
I can do it, bro.
Wow.
I can do it. Okay?
The backroom yoga stretch right there.
Omar can take shots at his own. I can take shots at my own, too. That's just the way it goes. It's just the way it goes. But anyway, so Sanchez, Dirty Sanchez, there wasn't a lot of film on him, and they took him. And Blaine Gabbert went up top, and Bortles also. This league is filled with a whole bunch of guys that didn't deserve to go top 5. So I'm with you. I'm with you that they're overrated. I'm with you that they're overrated, but they're all desperate too, Omar. That's the thing.
Yeah, which is why it makes so much sense for the Dolphins to just look at the value and move down to 6. I thought I would have been way more comfortable if they stayed at 12 because I thought they just absolutely blew it out of the water with that trade. Clearly, the 49ers, clearly they had been shopping it, and they had been gotten all their feelers, and they knew that Carolina probably had their sights set on somebody and was comfortable where they were at 8. So they had to move it to somebody who would overpay, which was the 49ers. And then they paid a little bit overpaid to get back up, but still they're walking ahead with an extra first-round pick for the future. And it's really following step what the Patriots had done for so many years when they were dynasties and winners. They'd always push something into the future drafts. And right now, the Dolphins have a lot of quality picks in the future drafts.
That's right. And Omar, how many emails did you get? How many DMs? How many tweets did you get over the years that Dolphin fans, because I got them too, they're all pissed off. Patriots are always winning, and they're always making these trades and getting extra picks and compensatory picks. And why aren't the Dolphins doing this? And guess what? Now you've got the GM that's going to start doing all those kind of things. So, the Dolphins were jealous of the Patriots for many years for those kind of maneuvers. We're watching this front office.
The Patriots. It's funny you mentioned the Patriots because I believe they spent like $157 million in guaranteed contracts on a lot of average, mediocre, overrated players. Just my opinion. No shade at Godchild because I have a lot of respect for him, but I'm not going to believe he's worth $8 million a year. Just know, hey. But to each his own. Patriots see him. Maybe he comes the next Rob Ninkovich and just absolutely looks like a guy where we're saying, why did we let him go get away again? But I've always said this over the years, Bigo, and I stand on this mountaintop. The Patriots have been mediocre at the draft and mediocre in free agency. What they've always had was Tom Brady who masked all their deficiencies.
Amen.
Name me a good wide receiver that they've drafted in the top 4 rounds of the draft.
Maybe Troy Brown, but he was not a top 4, right? I think he was a late round pick.
I don't even know if that's this decade.
Yeah, no, it's certainly not this decade. But what I'm saying is that was his best pick, and it was a late pick. But he has failed over and over and over again with the Jackson kid from Florida, the other kid from Minnesota that he took years ago.
What does worry me about the Patriots is if they use their first-round pick and they trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, which I think is a possibility. I've always thought it was a possibility, especially if the 49ers go out there and get their quarterback. Then you could look at it and say, hey, the Patriots could be back because I would argue that Jimmy Garoppolo would be the second-best quarterback in the division. And, hey, Jimmy Garoppolo is no slouch. So it'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward, but I have to believe that the Patriots are going to continue to be the Patriots until – they're going to be rudderless until they actually get a quarterback. And I think they're going to use their first-round pick to get one.
You probably are right because I think that there's no doubt desperation has set in for the Patriots after watching Brady win and the Dolphins win 10 and Buffalo dominating. I think the Patriots saw and go, oh, my God, we're about to become, the banking institution while DeFi is kicking our ass. So I think that's what's going on right now with the Patriots. But let me get back to the Dolphins, which is what matters here. And you said a little bit of it earlier. This is where I commend the Dolphins also. You're right. They could have stayed at 12 and guaranteed they would have ended up with one of the 3 receivers. And really, we can't complain if you end up with Waddle, Smith, or Chase. We're good with that. Yeah. All 3 are fantastic. But what I love is, and you've said this before, and I think other people have said it in general, when you have conviction on a player, well, then take the player you love. And if they move back down to 6, my brother, they must love 2 guys there, and I think it's Pitts and Chase. I think they're like, hey, we're going to get one of those 2 guys, so let's get back down to 6. The 4 quarterbacks are gone. Since he takes Penei Sewell, and we've got the pick of the litter right there. Worst case scenario, Falcons take one of the 2. Since he still takes Penei Sewell, and we have the other guy, let's go. Let's roll. So I think they feel that they can't lose. Go ahead.
Not only just that, but I think that they're in a perfect spot. If the Carolina, they can now broker their 6 to the team that wants that 3rd or 4th quarterback, and they can get an extra second-round pick to move to 8 or 9. So I still think that they can still make moves, and I point this out to people all the time. In the 5 years that he's been the GM, Chris Grier has made nearly twice as many trades as every other GM in the league.
Yeah.
So he is actively and aggressively on the phone. I've watched Marvin Allen work, and I could say I should call him Mr. Popular because I've never seen an executive as popular as Marvin Allen is in the Senior Bowl and combine settings. Everybody wants to be around and talk to Marvin Allen. He's always holding court. So when you have relationships like that, or you have people who want to connect with you and reach out to you, it opens up the line of communication, so you know what teams are thinking, and you know where you stand in terms of what's offered or favorable offers or what teams are thinking. Because clearly the 49ers have a thinking on a quarterback. Nobody knows who it is, and the national media is telling you that it's Mac Jones, even though I don't believe it. But, hey, if his agent's selling it and people are buying it, that's all good for him. But the 49ers clearly have their sights set on a quarterback that the Dolphins don't even worry about.
Yeah, no, I think it's Fields goes with what they do. I don't think it's Mac Jones. I think it's Justin Fields when it's all said and done.
You couldn't tell that to ESPN right now.
No,
Jesus Christ, they're doing a hard sell on Mac Jones.
Right. Well, listen,
I know he's going to have
ESPN kept trying to convince us that the Dolphins want to get rid of Tua. In fact, I think I heard on the morning show the two guys were still arguing that they think the Dolphins aren't committed to Tua, and nothing could be further from the truth. The Dolphins have been committed to Tua from the get-go. The only reason they would have gone with the Watson deal is if they give him a low-hanging fruit deal, like, yeah, hey, give us a first and a second and you can have them. And sure, they would have done something like that. But asking for the world, the Dolphins were never in the Watson race because they knew they would have to give up a ton of their draft capital, and they're not doing that, bro. You just talked about it. This guy wants to wheel and deal. This guy wants to stay in a place where he's liquid and flexible and dealing from a position of strength, which is something that the Dolphins have done with Greer so far in 2 years. They have dealt from a position of strength every time.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with you on that. I think they would.
Where were they in weakness? What trade was weakness? What move did they make that was a position of weakness?
No, I don't think they moved. I'm talking about with Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
I think before Massage Gate, they were all in playing keep away, ensuring that he stayed away from the Jets. I don't know if that's their focus or agenda. Because I said 2 weeks ago, I was like, if you're going to trade this pick, you trade it now, because these teams are going to be jockeying for these quarterbacks, and you want to get somebody while the market is high. But the only reason to hold on to it is just in case Houston wants that number 3 pick for Deshaun Watson. And now with what's going on with Deshaun Watson, whether he settles this or not, the market is just a little bit different.
Oh, yeah, no. Deshaun now, his situation is really, really, really hairy at this point in time. Omar, what are you working on over at the Sun Sentinel, so folks can check you out, my friend?
Still more draft study as I just produced the mock draft, and now I'm kind of going to explain why, even though I don't think Jamar Chase is the best fit for this team. I mean, he's the number 2 prospect in this draft, like number 2 talent wise. Like, people have to put this in perspective. He beat Jerry Jeudy for the Biletnikoff Award. If you will remember, Jerry Jeudy is better than all those receivers on that Alabama team. He was the number 1 receiver, even though DeMar Smith led the team in receptions. They had 4 number 1 picks in terms of receivers on that Alabama team, playing for Tua and playing for Mac Jones. And Jamar Chase beat the best of them all. So how is he not going to be a difference-making wide receiver in this league?
Oh, I'm with you all the way. I think Jamar Chase is an absolute stud. Him and Pitts, I think, are the best position players in the draft by far. That's the way I look at those guys. You get either one, I think you got a Pro Bowler for years to come. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. Catch his work at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. And, of course, catch him multiple times a week here with the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. As always, you're a stud. Much love.
All right, bro.
You got it. There you go. Omar Kelly. And call Eric right now, man. You want to improve that man cave? Want to add some more TVs? You want to come in out of the wall, out of the roof, out of the floor, whatever you want to do? They can do it all at EJD, baby. Modernize that kitchen. Redo the backyard since you're hanging out now. Maybe you want to put out an entire kitchen in the backyard so you can start barbecuing and cooking and all that good stuff. Call EJD Construction. They do it all. The family's growing like Omar's. You want to add another room to the house? Call EJD Construction, 305-433-4843. That's 305 433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
This has been the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Omar Kelly. From additions to home remodeling, call Eric at 305-433-4843. Count on a company that's an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. EJDconstruction.com. Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Every Thursday, NBA fans can catch one of the best basketball shows in the country when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host Inside the Paint. Listen to two of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. with Inside the Paint on the home for hardcore basketball fans. OnsideRadio.com.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit moretoadhd.com for additional information. That's moretoadhd.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
If you missed 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, you missed.
If he goes to Liverpool, I can't have an American on Liverpool.
Why?
Okay?
Whoa! What are you talking about, Austin? Why can't you have an American on Liverpool?
I can't have an American. As a Manchester United fan,
oh, shut! Oh, I didn't know you were a Man United. You red devil bastard! I didn't know you were a Man United fan. Oh, I don't. We're gonna have to talk about having you on every week now. I don't know if I can do this. I had no idea that you. Oh, stop!
I didn't know you were a Liverpool fan.
Oh my God! No wonder you've got Neville's. You know what in your mouth? Oh, good heavens to Betsy! Oh my God!
4th and 20, weekday mornings from 8 to 10 a.m. right here on OnsideRadio.com.
At Baptist Health, we are ready.
To serve. To treat.
To safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits
with skilled surgeons.
Advanced medicine.
And multidisciplinary teams. We're ready for new arrivals.
Our new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
anything that comes our way
with exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health.
And we are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready
to care for you.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Welcome to OnsideRadio.com. Broadcasting from South Florida to the world. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk.
This is like rock and roll with no music.
Follow us on social media at Onside Radio.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Now streaming online. Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The Onside Zone.
And look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it. You know what I mean?
The Onside Zone.
He's a liar. And there's nothing new about that. He's full of crap. If you're believing that, I got a bridge in the Keys. It's the one on the right side. Just want you to know, when you're going south, you'll see the smaller bridge on the right. I've got that one for sale if you're interested.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
That's the one boy band that I will say, dude, I'll stand up for Boys to Men every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Love those guys.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnsideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The Onside Zone with a Big O.
All right. It's Davis for the lead. Timeout, 2.9. Arkansas by 2. Trevor Thompson will inbound. Asmus against Davis. Asmus for the Elite Eight. Arkansas has won, and that'll do it. What a surprise. Oregon State is going to the regional finals.
Has allowed them to take the lead here as Meyer with a spin. Meyer, oh, what a finish! Is another step towards perfection for top-seeded Gonzaga. On to the Elite Eight. Pass it off. Reese. Oh! Overtime! That's it. This unlikely run continues for UCLA. The Bruins dance into the Elite Eight.
All right. Welcome back, folks. Hour number 2. Man, hour number 1 went by so fast. It's really amazing. We got a lot of things to talk about in hour number 2. George Sedano is set to join us in the next segment. So we'll talk to George, get a little basketball talk in there with him, to get his thoughts on the Heat. And obviously he's in the backyard with the Lakers and the Clippers. So we'll get his thoughts on everything going on out there in the left coast. And see if, I should ask George if he has room in his house. So when I go to L.A. for concerts, can he just lend me a room? Maybe I don't have to, spend tons of money in a hotel or something. George, you think George would want me in his house? There's no way, right? Of course not. There's no way. One of our fantastic listeners, and we love you, Cap for Life, but I love bringing reality to the show. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you can laugh about it. Sometimes you can understand it. And Cap for Life, we love you, brother. But when you say Hurricanes need to learn from the teachings of FIU, FAU, UCF, all have in-house stadiums while the 5-time champions are still leasing the Hard Rock, not right. First of all those schools are public-owned schools. They're state schools. They have way more funding than the University of Miami does, okay? That's one. Private schools do not produce the kind of money that UCF does, that FIU does, that FAU does. I don't know if you know this, Cap for Life, but the alumni base of FIU and FAU is 30-fold to the University of Miami. Not 2 times, not 5 times, not 10 times. No. 30-fold. Okay? Why? Because most parents could only afford to send their kids to FIU and FAU. If you've, and by the way, Cap for Life, I'm not sure if you've ever walked on to the University of Miami campus. Have you ever done that, Tito? Have you ever walked on to the?
Yeah.
And let me ask you something. When you look at all the faces walking around, do they all look like they're from this country?
No.
Okay. See, that's these are things that, like, you guys live in utopia. You think everything's perfect and all that. Go look at FIU and go look at FAU. They all look like your kids. Go look at the University of Miami. You're going to see so many people from another country. That's another reason why their fan base, their home fan base, like their student section, is weak. Because they got a bunch of people that don't give a rat's ass about sports. They're from other countries. They want to get their degrees and get the hell out of here. And they're super rich, and their parents send them there. That's it. Very few people can go. My daughter took she was on a medical course there at the University of Miami. Pure scholarship, dude. I can't afford the University of Miami. Okay? We paid from when she was in the womb. We started with the Florida Scholarship Fund thing. Luckily, we've only used that thing for a couple of books. Luckily, she's full scholarship at FIU. She did a medical program at the University of Miami. She got accepted to Harvard. She might be doing a summer program in Harvard. All scholarship. I can't afford Harvard. I can't afford the University of Miami. Okay? The only thing my wife and I can afford to do is try to teach my daughter to work her ass off. That's it. And my wife has done a beautiful job of teaching my daughter how to work her ass off. She's obviously smart, too. She's got like a 5.1 or 5.2 GPA or some crap like that. I didn't even know they went that high. Okay? If I saw a 3 in my GPA, I was like, wow, can I have a car? That kind of stuff. Can you give me the world? Because, a 3 for me was just amazing. So the other thing, okay, they don't have the room to build an on-campus stadium in Coral Gables. That's one. 2, Coral Gables would never allow them to build an on-campus stadium. And 3, even if Coral Gables allowed it, even if UM had the money, which they never will, do you know what it would cost to build a stadium in Coral Gables? So they'll never have an on-campus facility because they have no space for it. Coral Gables won't allow it. The traffic. Dude, Coral Gables busted their balls for the basketball arena. That seats like 7,000 max. And they had those 2,000 seats that were like not built or whatever, and they had to get those approved for later on and all that crap. Come on, man. Live in reality. It's Coral freaking Gables. And they don't have the money. The last chance to do anything was to redo the Orange Bowl. That fell through, and the city of Miami screwed it up. That was the last chance that Miami could have done something to stay there if they would have redone. They had to redo the Orange Bowl so it can be a dual facility for the University of Miami and for the Marlins. But the whole Jeffrey Loria thing kind of screwed everything up. And then the stadium fell behind so much that they had to move to Hard Rock. But don't ever – you gotta live in reality. A private school does not have the funds that public schools do. They don't have it. It's not the same thing. So to think that you could get a stadium – I remember Danny Cannell. Love Danny. I remember I tore him up on the air, and I tore him up because I was more disappointed in Danny. If you live in this town, he said the same thing. Oh, well, students have to come out more. And I'm like, Danny, you've never been on the University of Miami campus? Have you looked at the students there? They don't look like we do. There's a whole bunch of them that aren't from here. They don't care about anything we're doing. They're there to get their degree and get the hell out and go back to their country. And then he wanted also an on-campus, which is stupid. There's no way that you could ever build an on-campus. He said all these things that I just told you can't do. And I lost my mind. I'm like, dude, you live here. You should know this already. You're never going to get a great fan base out of the student alumni because they're not from here. They don't care. And they don't have the money to go build a stadium. They never have, and they never will. So stop with all that BS. They've won 5 titles. Here's where cap for life. You know what checkmate is? When you move your piece and you look at the opponent and you say checkmate because they can't go anywhere. Here's your checkmate. How many titles does FIU, FAU, and UCF have with their stinking on-campus stadiums? You want to answer that for me, Tito?
0.
Okay, thank you. Who gives a shit? Seriously. Like, get that out of your mind already. Stop with that stupidity. What the University of Miami has to do is get back to putting a kick-ass team on the field so you fill that stadium, and then you have home field advantage once again. That's all. And you'll win another title with no stadium on campus. Plenty of teams have on-stadium campuses, and guess what, Cap for Life? Plenty of those teams have no national titles. Meanwhile, the school that has no home stadium, and they've been renting the Orange Bowl, renting Hard Rock, they got 5 titles, baby. They're not winning titles because of the stadium. They're not winning titles because you've hired crappy coaches that can't get it done. That's all. Simple. That's all. So stop with creating controversies or necessities that you don't need. You don't need an on-campus stadium. You need an ass-kicking coach that knows how to recruit, that knows how to develop, and knows how to win. That's it. Is Manny Diaz that guy? So far, he's proven that he isn't even close. Just like Al Golden, just like any of the other guys that you've had here. You got, if you keep hiring Randy Shannon, it's not about the stadium. It's about the damn coach. And who gives a crap if you got to park to go to a stadium at Coral Gables or at Hard Rock? Who cares, bro? I care about the football team. I care about the program. I want them to win. Worrying about a stadium, dude, please get laid and get a life.
Yeah, the stadium does not translate to on-field success.
It's so stupid, bro.
Just win the games, bro.
It's just a ridiculous thing that you just got to quítate el mojón de la cabeza.
Crypto, bro.
888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. I mean, it's just,
bro.
It's sometimes it's just these ridiculous things that you go to places you don't need to go. Has nothing to do with it. The results are the results, and it has nothing to do with the stadium. Like I'm going to feel any better because I'm sitting in a stadium in Coral Gables or at Bird Road or Tropical Park or I'm at Hard Rock. I don't care, bro.
The stadium wouldn't have prevented them to losing that
exactly.
Yeah.
I care about the end of the game. You were in the Orange Bowl and you got thoroughly embarrassed by Virginia 44-0. It's not about the stadium, man. So enough already. A. Shannon, Big O, much love. I love what the Dolphins are doing. Just still have my concerns with being one-dimensional on offense. No run game. I'm sorry, Shannon, did the draft already happen? I must have missed it. They didn't select a running back? What happened? Not exactly. I mean, is the offseason done? I didn't know it was done already. Take it easy, man. Take it easy. Okay? Big O, allow me to remind everybody of Greer's grade trade 2016. Miami 8 to the Eagles for Kiko, Maxwell, and 13. He didn't do the trade. That's Tannenbaum. Greer doesn't do the trades. That was Tannenbaum doing the trade. So you can forget about that, okay? But it's what he did with Tunsil. That's Chris Greer's work. But that crazy-ass trade, that was actually Tannenbaum that did that trade. So you got to give Greer credit with what he did that he picked Tunsil and then what he's done the last 2 years. But the trade, that wasn't actually Greer. That was Tannenbaum doing all those trades. Let's see. Cat for Life says, love it, Big O, but stop it. Well, bro, if you want me to stop giving you common sense, you can live in, in your reality that is just not on point, bro. Oh, agree with everything you said, except you can't afford a top-tier head coach. Oh, well, I mean, they should be able to get a head coach. They can't get a stadium. They should be able to get a head coach. Never need an on-campus stadium, plus we play in a Super Bowl-type stadium. Exactly. What the Canes have to do is get back to kicking ass, and that stadium will be just fine. That's, I got that from Dolphin fans. Oh, we lost our home field event. No, dude, you lost the team. You lost the team. That's what had happened. Since the Dolphins went to Hard Rock Stadium, Joe Robbie, Fruit of the Loom, pro player, whatever, Land Shark, whatever the hell that stadium is, it had no identity because the team has no identity. It was mediocre. The Canes, the same thing. I mean, the Canes were crappy towards the end of the Orange Bowl, and then they've been crappy ever since. When the Dolphins get back to kicking ass, and they will now this year and next year, because this year they'll win a lot of games, and the next year they'll win the Super Bowl, you're going to see a whole different vibe in that stadium. I don't know about the Canes because I have no idea yet. Manny is so far from convincing me he's the guy. I love his off seasons, hate his regular season. We'll see. Okay. Big O scroll up comments earlier that will agree with you. Okay. Creating controversy is what made what you are talking about, Big O. No, that's not controversy. That's ridiculous. Demanding a stadium is ridiculous. Okay? It never had anything to do with their success. They never had a stadium in the past. So why is it required now? It's a big deal. Why is it required now? Anyway, it's a stadium they can't fill. You got to first win to fill it. Okay? All right, let's take a break. I think you want me to take a break. George Sedano is going to join us on the other side. Don't forget, every day at Onside Radio, our hosts sit down at the round table to tackle the most important local or national headlines. The round table, by the way, is podcasted daily. Search Onside Radio, subscribe on all platforms there, rate and review, listen to all kinds of station segments there. OnsideRadio.com is the home for South Florida sports.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
She's kind of a big deal. Some people like to say it's only because of how she looks. She sticks her tongue out a lot. But there's just something about her that makes people do crazy things, like get tattoos of her face, or wait in line for hours just to say hi. Lil Bub is a 2-year-old cat, an Instagram celebrity with a following bigger than some 90s television stars. And it all started because she was adopted. You can't buy a best friend like Lil Bub, but you can adopt one. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Riddle me this, with all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Big O for M&S Air Conditioning. Air quality in your home and business is more important than ever. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning and let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit. Folks, it attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. With stellar customer service, answering your call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. For more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans, visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Every Thursday, NBA fans can catch one of the best basketball shows in the country when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host Inside the Paint. Listen to two of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. with Inside the Paint on the home for hardcore basketball fans. OnsideRadio.com.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
If you missed Man of the Match with Alex Dono, you missed.
I think we need to normalize the nickname Dick again. There used to be a lot of dicks. Now, people think about the male anatomy. I don't know why we can't use Dick as a nick. There was something the strong, silent type would have the name Dick. Yeah, sure, it was a nickname for Richard, but Richards now will just go by Rich or Richard. Like, nobody goes by Dick anymore. I think we need to normalize Dick.
Man of the Match with Alex Dono from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
All right, let's talk a little basketball. I promised you George Sedano, our boy, would be kind enough to join us now. Come back to his backyard and join us. So, Dono, how's the adjustment to the air quality in Los Angeles to the air quality in South Florida?
Buddy, I live near the water, so the air quality is great near the water.
Nice.
So that's the key to air quality, I would say.
All right, so does the water ever get warm in that place? No, right? Because it's the Pacific?
No, absolutely not. I was at the beach yesterday. We took the kids for the first time in a year, and I didn't jump in. I didn't dive in. I just went in knees deep because it was a little too cold in LA. We do get some semblance of winter, although, you're talking about high 50s, low 60s, but that means the water still gets colder.
Yeah.
It's still pretty damn frozen out there, that water. It's probably 50 degrees right now.
Oh.
We need the sun to come down for a few more months before it warms up into the 60s, and then it feels better.
I could never see myself going in that water. Oh, my God. That thing is...
Let me tell you something. It's great for you. I go hiking every day. I do about 4 or 5 miles a day, and whenever I can get in the cold Pacific Ocean, my body feels so much better. It's like going into an ice tub almost in some ways.
Yeah, no, I get that, man. It's just, wow. Just the thought of that sometimes, because even when, here in South Florida, you know how it is. If you go in June, the water's still kind of warm, kind of cold still, and this is South Florida. So I can't even imagine what the Pacific is like during that time, bro. That is some crazy stuff. All right, my brother, so let me ask you something. Was Riley using Jedi mind tricks last week? I mean, I will give you nothing, you will give me something. I mean, it's these aren't the droids you're looking for. That's exactly what I saw.
Yeah, it did feel a lot like that. Houston clearly played this really poorly. And, Adrian Wojnarowski at ESPN reported that the market was soft for Oladipo. So Riley just took advantage of it. And that probably was the best deal they could get, just with a pick swap. Nobody was interested in offering a first-round pick, to my knowledge. And Riley just sat there and says, all right, I'm not going to give you a first-rounder, but I'll swap with you. And we're talking about maybe if they choose to swap, we're talking about maybe a couple of spots. It's not going to be that big a deal. So you're right. Riles still got it, man. There's no doubt.
Yeah, it's crazy when I saw that. Now, the Aldridge move, and I know Barry wrote that maybe one of Aldridge's associates said that the 6-game losing streak didn't help. How much truth is that? Because I even have a hard time even believing that. I think Aldridge just went with common sense, I'm at the end of my road. I want a ring. The Nets have the better shot. Let me go there. To me, it was just kind of a common sense thing. As much as I love the Heat, I can't blame a player for going to the Nets.
I think it's somewhere in the middle. Oh, I do think that stuff played a role. I think that if Miami would have still been the hottest team in basketball like they were prior to the 6-game losing streak, maybe that there's a different outcome there. But what I would say to you is this, is I think the Heat dodged the bullet, man. Like, LaMarcus Aldridge is not very good anymore. LaMarcus Aldridge was never a good defender, and now he's way worse, okay? The San Antonio Spurs, were 15.5 points worse when he was on the floor this season in their starting lineup, okay? 15.5 points per 100 possessions worse. That's really hard. And overall, regardless of what lineup he played in, they were 6.5 points worse when he was on the floor. Pop was playing Jakob Poeltl ahead of him in a lot of cases. Like, this is not the LaMarcus Aldridge that people remember because he's just an above-average offensive player at this stage and a really, really terrible defender at this stage.
Yeah, I'm with you. And Jakob, by the way, has improved. He's actually playing some pretty good basketball. He's the better player right now. Listen, I'm not the guy that was enthralled with Aldridge. I was calling him soft last week. It's not like I was totally – but now that you traded away Olynyk, you needed some kind of a body or size here. So Boogie Cousins is out there. Is that – he's been also kind of hooked with the Heat in the past. It's never happened. Is this the next option for Miami?
Yeah, I think it makes some sense. I thought he had moments in Houston where he played really well. Look, he's coming off some catastrophic injuries, okay? The fact that he was even on the floor this season and looked decent, I thought was a huge step forward. So I think he can still play. Again, Kelly Olynyk, in theory, when Miami was on their run to the NBA Finals, was a spot player, right? Some nights he'd play 25 minutes. Some nights he'd play 5. You know what I'm saying? So I think if that's what you can get out of DeMarcus Cousins, and, I think you're okay. But here's the thing. I think the Heat are better at power forward now. No disrespect to Kelly, because I know he particularly plays well with Jimmy. Those minutes with those two guys were very productive. But I think the combination of Bjelica and Ariza will be way better than Kelly Olynyk, because Ariza, once he gets the rust off, it kind of reminds me of Iguodala last year, where those first 10 games, he didn't look like himself, and then he got to becoming Andre Iguodala again, right? At least defensively. And I think Ariza has that with more offensive pop. Bjelica, forget about what he shot this year. I know he's shooting 29%, but he's barely playing in Sacramento this year. The 3 previous seasons where he played regular rotation minutes, he was a 40% three-point shooter. He can handle the ball a little bit. He's a good passer. I think Miami got better at power forward.
Yeah, no, I like Bjelica, and I think he'll be a better player here. Like most everybody else that joins this team, you usually play your best basketball. I think they'll work with Oladipo to make him as efficient as possible too, because I think that's the little knock that's on Oladipo right now, is that he lost a little bit of that efficiency from a few years back.
No doubt. He's putting up numbers, but his efficiency is horrendous. Like, we're talking about 40% basically from the field. Now, he won't have to carry that kind of burden here, right? What you want from Oladipo is to be able to pair him with that unit, in theory, right, that second unit with Dragic and Hero, because neither of those guys can defend very well anymore. Well, in Dragic's case anymore, but in Hero's case at all. He's a net negative player. Tyler Hero, I've never been this huge fan. I think I think his career probably is a really good sixth man, an elite level role player. I have felt that way from day one. Now, he outperformed plenty, obviously, last season. But here's the thing, and you know this. Once you're on the scouting report after your rookie season, things change. And the same thing has happened to Duncan Robinson in a lot of ways, although Duncan has looked a lot better of late, I think.
Yeah.
Particularly in that game against Charlotte, he helped bring them back in a lot of ways. But, I think the combination of the trade stuff and them just being young and them being on the scouting report has hurt them, but I do think Oladipo helps them there because he can still defend at a high level. He's a creator. He can get to the rim, And that unit needs somebody that can finish at the rim better than those two.
And listen, you're on to something. I'll take it to the next level. Riley can say all he wants about how much he loves these guys and their future and all of that, but they're giving them the break because they're babies still. But if Duncan and Tyler don't become better defensive players in the next year or two, they will not have a future on this team because they will not tolerate and keep guys that just are complete negatives on defense. Eventually, they will find your replacement that can do some of what you do offensively, but do a hell of a lot more on the defensive side of the court. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. Look, they're going to have a real interesting scenario with Duncan in general, right? Because they got to pay him.
That's right.
I'm curious to see how that works itself out. I do think Duncan has become a better team defender. He reminds me a little of what James Jones was for the Heat back in the day, where you knew what you were getting on offense, and he wasn't mess on defense. Like, he wasn't a net negative, to your point. But, yeah, I agree. I think that Riley's always looking to make the roster better, and I think that whatever that's going to take, he's usually willing to do. Now, look, with Hero, he's on an easy contract. He's still on his rookie deal. You know, you can give it another year or so before you kind of figure out what he is. But, yeah, they got to get better. There's no question about it.
No doubt, and I'm with you there. James Jones has actually turned into a much better GM than defender. I will say that. That's just got to be honest. All right, George, in your backyard, I laugh at this shit, okay? Because this is just absolute crap, and people on the air just overreacting. The Lakers aren't in trouble, dude. Okay, so they'll slide now, whatever. They'll lose a couple games, whatever. The second the cyborg is back and AD, they're back on track. And, in fact, I'll turn it around this way. The Lakers aren't in any trouble whatsoever. Once they get their two monsters back, they're going to start kicking ass. And the teams that are going to end up at 1, 2, and 3, they're going to freaking hate life if they have to face the Lakers in the first round as a 6 or 7 or 8 seed. So if the Lakers do fall down, eventually they'll get back in there. And then, you know, for LeBron, it's like what he did in Cleveland a few years back when he went to 4. They'll find a way to get it done. I love hearing the overreaction on the panic for the Lakers when there should be zero panic. Agree or disagree?
I mostly agree with you. What I've seen from this team the last 2 games when they've faced teams that, aren't very good, let's be honest with each other, is that they were able to regain their defensive disposition even without LeBron and AD. Like, this was the number 1 defense in the league this year. And I think that they started to play more of that scrappy style. Now, look, they just got to win the games they're supposed to win. They got to beat the Orlandos and the Clevelands and the Sacramentos. But, yeah, they are going to fall. It's just how far do they fall? I'm mostly with you, O. As long as they don't get into that play-in scenario where all of a sudden, a 1-game or a 2-game sample can screw you, like, I think that they're fine. You're right. Once AD is going to be back in like 2.5, 3 weeks, LeBron's going to probably take a little longer than that, another week and a half or 2. But by May, they're both going to be back. They're going to have 2 weeks to get ready for the playoffs. They're going to be fine. I love the addition of Drummond because for 3 reasons. Number 1, they need the help right now because they need anybody that can help them with this particular team. Right?
Yes.
Number 2, AD doesn't love to play center, so now they've got a center they can play with AD, even though AD played 60% of his possessions at center last year. He doesn't love it. And then we know this. There's not a big man alive that hasn't gotten a chance to play with LeBron that hasn't benefited from it, from Chris Birdman Anderson, right, to Tristan Thompson. I mean, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, we can go on and on and on, right? Like, there's a lot of guys at that position that have benefited from LeBron. So, yeah, I think they're still the favorite as long as those 2 guys are healthy.
Well, I'll leave you with this. Does Nick Nurse survive in Toronto? Because, damn, dude, a couple years later, how things change. Holy crap.
No, absolutely. That dude is a great coach. That team is not very good. They're rebuilding.
No, I know, but you're fighting with your best player, so I'm just wondering because sometimes the player usually wins that battle, so I wonder if Nick Nurse will survive that battle with his best player.
Oh. You got to survive, somebody will snatch him up in like 2.7 seconds.
Okay. I just find it interesting how 2 years later everything changes. It's a funky thing. Follow him on Twitter at Sedano, and of course you can catch him at 7:10 a.m. there in ESPN LA, and you can always catch him on ESPN too. George, as always, my brother, thank you for taking some time, and enjoy that cold water.
All right, brother, be good.
You got it. There you go. Although I got to tell you something. How do you have sex in that beach? Right? I mean, your BBs are shrinking during that time. It's got to be like an incredibly hot woman to get you going in that kind of ice water. Because that Pacific Ocean, there's no way. I would never enjoy that. Do you like cold beaches like that, Tito?
No.
Because I used to go visit my cousins up in New York. And I had cousins in Monticello, New York, in Deer Park, Rhode Island, and in Passaic, New Jersey. I got them all over there in that area. And so I used to stay with my cousins on Broadway by Lincoln No. 4, I think, was the high school. And so we used to go to the beach because it was summertime when I would go and hang out with them. And, man, that beach was cold, dude. I don't even know how New Yorkers do it. Because that water is cold, and that's the Atlantic, and then up there in the north. I can't imagine the Pacific. That thing never gets warm.
There's a beach in Connecticut called Soundview Beach, and on the beach there's a sign that says, "Welcome to Connecticut's South Beach."
Okay. Yeah, it's just south of Connecticut, right? It's a southern portion of Connecticut. That's the only south it means by. I got you. By the way, Onside Radio understands gaming is a big part of the sports landscape. That's why every day we keep you updated with some of the latest gaming news with Onside Radio's E-Minute, hosted by Toast, Kai, and Michael Christian. If you miss it, folks, guess what? It's podcasted daily. Search Onside Radio on all platforms and subscribe, rate, and review, baby. OnsideRadio.com, the station gamers call home.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
He has an overbite that makes him look like a cartoon character, a slightly crooked eye, and an uncommonly wrinkly neck. In the right light, he can look a little like a garden gnome, and he'll wear a bow tie just because. Sure, you might call him a little quirky, but that's exactly what makes him so perfect. Tuna is a 3-year-old Chihuahua Dachshund mix with more than 700,000 followers on Instagram, and it all started because he was adopted. You can't buy a best friend like Tuna, but you can adopt one. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Catch a South Florida staple every afternoon as Alex Dono hosts the Man of the Match. Dono covers everything from football to football to MMA. Tune in to one of the most complete sports shows in the country with Man of the Match with Alex Dono from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. every weekday, exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Riddle me this. With all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnsideRadio.com sports update.
Florida Panthers got the win last night, defeating the Dallas Stars 4-1. However, the Panthers lost a crucial member, and that's Aaron Ekblad with a knee injury. There is currently no timetable for his return, as it's expected to be a severe injury. The Panthers take on the Detroit Red Wings tonight at home. Puck drop slated for 7 o'clock. Miami Heat take on the New York Knicks tonight. The Heat will be in New York without Victor Oladipo, who is out with an illness listed. Kendrick Nunn has also been ruled out. Goran Dragic is probable for tonight's game. Tip-off slated for 7:30. Heat going as a -4 favorite. And in the college football world, a couple Miami prospects dazzling in their pro day, namely Jalen Phillips, the UCLA transfer, officially running a 4.56 in his 40-yard dash. With your Onside Sports Update, I'm Tito Bonacci. Coming up next, it's more of the Onside Zone with the Big O right here, OnsideRadio.com.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. The craziest thing was believing that your dad knew everything. So as a dad, you felt like you had to know everything. You had to get everything right. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then, it kind of starts to work itself out. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
All right. We take it till 3. We thank George Sedano for joining us. We thank you for joining us every single day. We love you all out there. Thank you. Want to catch us here on YouTube? Go for it. Search Onside Radio. It's there. You can catch any of the shows that are going live, like ours right now. You can watch it with all the other folks that are watching and chime it in. You can always send in your questions, your comments. It's a beautiful thing. Brandon Flood says, who the hell wants to drive in Gables traffic? Go to a game. I don't care about that. Doesn't matter where I go.
Is there no traffic on the way to the Hard Rock?
There's
news to me.
Traffic everywhere, man.
Do you live in Miami?
Yeah. Oh, why would you even think of trading Parker if they don't have a tall receiver to replace Williams? Where did we talk about
I think
trading?
he's referring to Peter King's article that I posted on your show sheet.
Oh,
where,
okay.
He says that he thinks the Dolphins may be interested in dealing Devontae if they draft Jamar Chase.
I would agree with that. He's always injured. If they, you got to think about this. They're going to release him next year. Okay? They may use him for this year because you're going to bring in young receivers, and you can't put the burden on young receivers. So I believe you'll keep Parker and Williams around. Williams for sure because he's young, but Parker's kind of beaten up already with all the injuries. And listen, I have immense respect for Devontae because he has fought all those injuries in his body, and he finds a way to play now more than ever. You know what I mean? So his toughness cannot be questioned. It's just, unfortunately, like most of us, we would break down left and right if we played this game. It's normal to break down and play this game. It's abnormal. It is freakish to be the person that can stay healthy in the NFL. Okay? That's absolutely, totally freakish. So could I see them? We have here in South Florida a wheeling and dealing NFL GM. So anybody that says, including Peter King or anybody, that, oh, well, they could trade this player. Chris Greer could trade anybody, bro. He could cut you. He could trade you. He'll trade up. He'll trade down. He'll do whatever it takes. It doesn't matter. So I don't know if he'll trade him or not, but think about this. If you're comfortable with your wide receiving core, and you probably are going to part ways with Parker in 2022. So if you have a deal on the table and somebody offers you something for Parker, it behooves you not to take it because you're not really winning the Super Bowl this year. It's going to be tough because you're still a young team and you got to find all the right pieces. And then the other thing is you don't even know how long this guy's going to stay healthy. In fact, the one thing you do know about Devontae Parker is he can't stay healthy. So why would you blame any GM that would trade an injury-prone player? You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know, I didn't read that part because I know you put it in my show sheet. I just haven't gotten to the article because you told me you have it there. It says, this is an amazing president set for a haul of third picks in the draft. So he's got all this stuff here. Talking a little bit about the trades and all of that. I have not checked it out myself, to be honest with you. I did not read. I normally read Peter King's article on Monday mornings. I did not this week. So I did not know. It says, it would not surprise me now knowing that he's in position to get a great receiver if he tried to move on from one of his wideouts, maybe even Devontae Parker. All right? If the compensation was right. Peter King. And I would agree with that. And I wouldn't blame Chris Greer if he traded a guy that's injury prone. It just makes all the sense in the world. And you're getting another pick for the future. Again, I mean, I love that. Tremolio says, you don't do it on the beach in the Pacific. You take her back to the beach condo, smoke a doobie, then bang away. I got you. Yeah, no, it's just, you know. She's going to be hot. She's going to have to be, like, really smoking hot to get you going in freezing water. Okay? Ragin says DVP play is dependent on who's opposite of him. When he has help, he's great. I wouldn't expect he will stay this year. When he has help, he's great. What does that mean?
He's dependent upon who's next to him, and if those receivers are really good, then he plays better.
I've watched him burn New England's best cornerback without help of anybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you who's the other receiver in that 2019
Rage
season.
and I couldn't disagree with you more on that. Devontae Parker can burn anybody in this league when he's healthy. When he's right, he can play with anybody. He's big, physical. He's athletic. Problem is he's rarely right. But I watched him get what is it? Is it Samuel, right? What's the name of the dude in New England?
Stephon Gilmore?
Gilmore.
Dude,
Gilmore.
You're on fire today. You are on fire. First, it was Jeff Garcia for the Jets.
That's right, Jeff
and then
Garcia.
now it's Samuel.
It wasn't Jeff. I just said Garcia. Let's get that straight. I just stuck with a Hispanic last name.
Jeff Garcia.
I did not
New
say
York
Jeff
Jets
Garcia. I said Garcia.
You were on fire.
I was Garcia, and then you said Sanchez, and I said that's it.
Yeah, and then
They're
now
all the
it's
same.
Samuel, and it's Stephon Gilmore.
Right, that's it. Stephon, Samuel, whatever. Anyway, I saw him undress Stephon over and over and over again in a Patriots game. I don't think Devontae Parker's problem is injuries. It's not his quarterback. It's not the receivers next to him. It's not Gesicki. When Devontae Parker is healthy, which is rare, and he's got it going, he can beat anybody. That's his thing. But unfortunately, that's why I wouldn't blame him if he trades him, because he's unreliable. You know, it's a shame, man. What a shame. Let me tell you, the Parker that came out of Louisville, that dude could blow the top off the coverage, could leap over people, can get underneath passes, can get a 10-yarder and take it 70. That dude had it all. But unfortunately, the body just did not. And listen, you know, those are the things that you can't predict sometimes, unfortunately. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. Saturdays at 8 a.m., baby. Fans can go deep into the count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase. Catch the show that talks Marlins and all the big stories in the majors. Every Saturday at 8 a.m., Seamheads have a new home. Listen to Deep Into the Count exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
For over 20 years, Mr. Glass has been committed to the safety and satisfaction of our clients. Our products are the culmination of innovative engineering, aesthetic appeal, and the highest levels of quality. Through our legacy, Mr. Glass strives to impart the true meaning of quality, service, and sustainability to new generations. Reputation, experience, and trust is why clients choose Mr. Glass. Live the future now. Locate a dealer near you today.
Every Thursday, NBA fans can catch one of the best basketball shows in the country when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host Inside the Paint. Listen to two of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. with Inside the Paint on your home for hardcore basketball fans. OnsideRadio.com.
At Baptist Health, we are ready
to serve, to treat,
to safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits with skilled surgeons,
advanced medicine,
and multidisciplinary teams. We're ready for new arrivals
and new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
anything that comes our way
with exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health. And we are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready
to care for you.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Can I get a captain?
Captain and what?
Captain and Ginger.
I can't hear you.
Captain and Ginger.
He was a captain and ginger. Captain and ginger. He was a captain and ginger.
Captain Morgan, official partner of Major League Soccer.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
You're listening to OnsideRadio.com. Catch up anytime by downloading the MyTuner Radio app. OnsideRadio.com, South Florida's true hometown station.
This is the Big O Show.
All righty. We back. We take it till 3. Alex Dotto and the man of the match will take over at that point. We got, of course, Tito Benash driving the show. We'll start off hour number 3 in a minute here, and I got a bunch of things that I want to get to. I want to get to our roundtable subject of the day. I got to talk a little Heat are in action tonight against the Knicks. Panthers, by the way, terrific win last night against the Stars, but man, losing Ekblad, he's done for the year, right? I mean, that looked like a blown knee ligament. You don't writhe in pain like he was, and it's a bruised knee. I mean, I hear that he's out for a week or two with just like a sprained knee. I'm gonna go, what? That did not look like, it looked pretty bad. Not that I'm wishing anything bad on Ekblad. The Panthers can't replace that guy. You can't. It's impossible to replace him. They don't have a guy that can play defense and score like this guy, because he's got a hell of a shot. So that sucked yesterday, man. I mean, that part of the game, it like ruined the rest of the night. Even winning and everything, you knew you lost the game, even though they won because of the Ekblad injury. So I got a bunch of things that I want to talk about. The Aldridge thing I want to get into, that he didn't choose Miami, he chose the Nets. I got my thoughts on that. I've got also, I don't know if I'll get to it today, but there's a specific ex-NFL player who is just a disgusting human being, and I really wish real bad things for him. I know it's not right for me to do that, but hard for me to have sympathy for certain people when they go overboard. And then there's another NFL player that lives in some altered reality, right? And it's just sometimes some guys get it and some guys don't. This guy, I don't think he really understands what the hell he's saying. But we'll get into that also in hour number 3. So I got a bunch of things to get to in hour number 3. If you want to get in, you can reach out to us at 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. The text line, which I'm going to read a couple texts right now, 844-416-8123. Ron in Michigan is checking in. He says, has Tito watched Meatballs, another classic Bill Murray movie? I don't know. I doubt it, right? You've never watched Meatballs, right?
Nope.
No, but you got to watch Stripes first. Stripes is just freaking hilarious. You definitely got to watch Stripes. Not that he ever will. I mean, we're trying to add some culture to the kid, so he kind of knows a little bit about the classics and how good they are, But what can I tell you? We can only take the horse to water. Whether they drink or they don't, well, that's a whole different ballgame. And so far right now, Tito's about as dehydrated as it gets. What I love about the San Francisco trade is that San Francisco has really messed up their future. I wouldn't be surprised if their 2023 pick is a top 10, even a top 5 pick. I'm with you there. The part I love about this is, well, if Miami ends up with San Francisco's pick, which I think it might be New York's pick, I'm not exactly sure, but if San Francisco Miami ends up with their pick, well, they're going to be really good. I'm wondering, well, wait a minute. Garoppolo never stays healthy, and you're assuming that the rookie's going to come in and carry a team? San Francisco's not going to be that good next year. I'm not exactly sure why people are so. It's like the whole thing about, when Omar said, well, maybe Miami wanted to stick around to make sure that the Jets don't get Watson or something like that. I got to tell you something. I'm not worried if Deshaun Watson goes to the Jets. I'm sorry, I must have missed it. When did they become a good franchise? I must have missed that, okay? Plenty of good quarterbacks go to crappy teams, and they stay crappy, okay? All right, let's take a quick break. Hour number 3 is next. If you want to get in, 888-441-4623. Heated NBA fans, you can catch Ira Winderman here exclusively at OnsideRadio.com with our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat reports. Catch Ira throughout the week at OnsideRadio.com. And when news breaks, basketball fans know Onside Radio is the place you get the insight you need.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Onside Radio. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk. Follow us on social media at Onside Radio.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
OnsideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your Onside Radio E-Report with Michael Christian.
Fortnite. Once the world's top video game has once again alienated their player base, this time banning all wagers. Wagers were when 2 or more Fortnite players play each other for money. Essentially, if it was a 1v1 or a 2v2, you would jump into a duos or quads match and the individual or team with the highest kill count would win the prize pool. This is common in Fortnite and is often used by many of the top streamers to not only keep their audience engaged, but also to help keep them motivated playing the game when tournaments aren't happening. Epic has now banned all forms of wagers and has even sent personal emails to top streamers warning them they will be banned if they are caught engaging in said wagers. Ending this practice seems to be the cherry on top that once again got RIP Fortnite trending on Twitter.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E-Report.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The Onside Zone.
And look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it. You know what I mean?
The Onside Zone.
He's a liar. And there's nothing new about that. He's full of crap. If you're believing that, I got a bridge in the Keys. It's the one on the right side. Just want you to know, when you're going south, you'll see the smaller bridge on the right. I've got that one for sale if you're interested.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
That's the one boy band that I will say, dude, I'll stand up for Boys to Men every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Love those guys.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnsideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The Onside Zone with a Big O.
All right. I love this. You know, you got 24 hours and nothing to talk about. Do you have a problem with the Nets signing all the good players? God bless them, dude. They opened up the opportunity for themselves. We got to do that here in Miami. Right? We saw them sign LeBron, Bosh, and Wade, and then they went and added Ray Allen and Battier, and, you know, so we'd be a bunch. Any Heat fan that answers that question and says, oh, yeah, no, I'm pissed off, you're just a hypocrite, man. I mean, that's gross. Really, seriously. Come on. Do you have a problem? One day, hopefully, the Heat are back to that position where everybody wants to be here. Why not? I got no problem with that whatsoever. More power to them. They created that opportunity for themselves. Take advantage, man. The Lakers did it too. There's a reason why the Lakers and the Celtics for many, many years created that kind of environment. It's up to you. You could do it too, right? Patriots sucked forever, and then Belichick took over and made it a place. The San Antonio Spurs were nothing. And then here comes Pops and makes it a destination. It's up to you, man. I got no problem with that. So I found that to be kind of silly. We got a roundtable segment that we do every single day. And if you missed a roundtable segment, it's tweeted out every day. Alex Aguirre, which is our third producer on the day. It's Sean first, then Tito, then Alex does the third part of the day. So once that day is over, since he's the third guy, he then gathers all of the stuff that Sean and Tito have sent him along with his, and he puts it together. All of our hosts talk about the topic of the day. And today, the topic is, where are you confidence-wise with Chris Greer after 2 years, and also when you compare him to other GMs. Now, I was listening to our boys in the morning, and, they were including the stuff to 4 years prior, which I could include, but I'm not going to do that because he wasn't totally in charge. So when you're not controlling the trades and you're not controlling the signing of free agents, but they're letting you draft, it's not the same. You know what I mean? And any of you out there that want to just do it that way, it doesn't make any sense. Okay? You gotta judge Chris Greer since he took over and has all the say. He says who's head coach. He says who you take in the first round. He says who you trade, who you cut, who you put on the practice squad, who he doesn't like. It's his final say. He takes, obviously, suggestions from Flores and everybody else, but the buck stops with him. So that's how I look at Chris Greer right now, because I don't know. I heard also Toast say that, Armando Salguero wrote an article a couple months back with Chris Greer and talking about all of this. Let me explain something to you, okay? I think I got a good read on Chris Greer, better than most. And he just doesn't seem to me like the kind of guy. He's more of the guy that's just going to lay on the sword. And yeah, I had total control. And maybe he didn't. And maybe Gase wanted a specific guy or whatever. He wasn't going to get into that. Because then if he tells the reporter, then it becomes a pissing contest. And then the reporter starts to say, well, okay, who did you draft, who didn't you draft, and then becomes the blame game. Okay? Now, maybe Armando doesn't care about that part because he got his story so he can put it out. And the story would have been juicier, obviously, if he gives you more. But Chris Greer is not the guy that is going to trash people, not going to trash his employees, not going to trash his players, not going to trash the team, not going to trash the media member either. The guy's always going to take the high road, if you've noticed so far. Okay? It just seems like that's who he is. So, to me, instead of worrying about the 4 years prior, where they said he was in charge of the draft, when he really wasn't in charge of the team, and we really don't know if he really was in charge of all the draft because he didn't really have final say. Because Tannenbaum could say, no, I really like this guy in the second round. Let's take him instead, Chris. And Chris could say, okay, Mike, because Mike's the boss. And if Gase wanted somebody to say, okay, coach, go ahead, because he's really not in charge. So we really don't know all the things that went on behind the scenes. Okay, like somebody brought up the trade. I think it was Tremolio. And the trade meant nothing because trades were all on Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum was Mr. Trade. He's the guy that loved to trade. So that's the guy that ran all the trades. That's why I'm saying don't waste time talking about prior 4 years. Look at what's gone on for 2 years and a half now because we're, adding this offseason here. And since he took over, let's see. He turned Laramie Tunsil into 4 first-round picks, a second and a third-round pick, and got rid of $8 million off the salary cap in Kenny Stills, which is amazing. Okay? I don't care. I'm not talking about that he picked him because I don't know. In the end, all the picks, I don't know. I'm not judging him. I'm judging these 2 years. So look what he's done with Laramie Tunsil. Okay? He found what I believe is their quarterback in Tua. He found what I believe is their head coach in Brian Flores. He has already posted a 10-win season. This is 2 years in. 2 years in. He does things that nobody else could do prior to him. Let me repeat that again. In 2 years, he did what no one else prior to him has been able to do. Jimmy couldn't find a quarterback, and they gave him at least Dan Marino. But he couldn't find his own quarterback. Neither did Wannstedt, neither did anybody else, Philbin, you name it, whatever. The coaches, as far as I'm concerned, from what I've seen from Flores, is better than everybody I've seen here, except for Jimmy. I'm going to give Jimmy some love at coaching. Personnel-wise, he did great on defense, was terrible on offense. Okay? Couldn't find a stud running back, couldn't find a stud quarterback, couldn't find it. Couldn't get it done. Okay? He was all-world at cleaning out and getting rid of the offense, and he sucked at building the offense. Okay? So you look at all of these things that have gone on, and he has left already for future drafts extra picks. He's got a ton of draft picks here in this draft. He's found all kinds of players already in the first couple of years, which to me, that's the part that's been also extremely impressive in all of this, is that we got a guy that in 2 years, let me pull it up here. In 2 years, he's already found, let's see. And again, I'm not going to go over the 4 years prior, okay? I'm not going to start pulling out X and all this other stuff, okay? I'm just going to go over the last couple of years, what he's been able to find. He drafted Austin Jackson, Solomon Kinley, and Robert Hunt. Those guys showed us something, okay? Michael Dieter, unfortunately, he played well last year when he filled in the one game, but he has yet to show us, and I'm not ready to give up on Dieter also. Okay? Dieter played one season. It was his rookie year. And last year, he was just a fill-in. We'll see what happens this offseason and into the next season, because I'm not ready to give up on young players that quickly. He got a tight end already in Gesicki. And I got to tell you something. The Durham Smythe kid has actually developed under this team, gotten better. He traded for Adam Shaheen, who actually helped out in the game on the team this year. Myles Gaskin, he got in the 7th round, who is a fantastic backup, but actually was in top 10 from the line of scrimmage throughout the year, which is crazy. I never even would have expected that, but overall pretty good. And then he got Tua on offense, right? So he's added some pretty good pieces that you can build on for the future, okay? On defense, obviously, Agba, I think, was a terrific signing, a young defensive end that you were able to get more out of. Andrew Van Ginkel has been absolutely fantastic. The signing of Byron Jones, that's not a draft pick, but still, you shored up the defense. That definitely helped you out. Well, we'll see what Igbenogany is going to turn out. Again, way too young. Didn't really play much his first year and didn't look good at times because he's obviously green, but neither did Pat Surtain. By the way, X wasn't anything special his first year either. A lot of players take time to develop. Zach Seiler's a guy that they found that has helped out in a big-time way. Nick Needham helped out. I know he struggled a little bit last year, but overall has been a nice addition off the street to help out. Who am I missing here on defense that, looking at some of these names, what's it called? Oh, Van Ginkel, obviously. I don't know if I named, Raekwon also. Raekwon Davis looked really good. Oh, the safety, Brandon Jones. That's another kid that looked really good last year, considering, that he's a rookie. You start to look around. Okay, the kicker also that he drafted 2 years ago has turned into a hell of a kicker. No, you know what? I can't count the kicker. That was 3 years ago. It's not from his last 2 years. Still a good pick, but I'm not going to count anything 3 years and back. But overall, you start to look at what he's done. He has picked players, signed players that he can build as a foundation, and they're going to add more now to this foundation. And you look, you got a coach, you got a front office. That's the other thing. He supersized the front office, adding Reggie McKenzie and Marvin Allen, two excellent personnel guys. So he supersizes the personnel department. He finds a quarterback. He finds a head coach, all in his first 2 years as GM. That's crazy. He did most of it in his first year. He got the quarterback in the second year. I mean, for me, this guy by far has done an outstanding job. A+. If I could add more pluses to it, I would add more pluses to it. Because they've never had a GM here that was able to find a quarterback and a coach. Never. And I think they've found both already. And they've already got 10 wins under their belt in one season. And they've got a whole boatload of draft picks. I don't know how you can't be impressed by Chris Grier and what he's been able to do. To me, he's been, I don't know, better than even I think most people expected. You would expect a lot more mistakes for a new GM. And here's a guy that is acting like a seasoned pro in the way he trades, the way he acquires people, the way he drafts, the personnel department, head coach. This guy acts like he has been doing this forever. By far, by miles and miles and miles, this is the best hire the Dolphins have made in over a quarter century. This is the most balanced and most effective person they've had running this organization since Don Shula. And like I said earlier in the show, here's a guy that continues to make moves that helps the team out now and in the future. He's constantly thinking both. Where normally you had guys, we've always had the guys here that were all in for the now to save their asses because they couldn't really build for the future because they had no future. Here's a guy that continues to win and continues to build for the future. I can't say enough about that philosophy. I can't say enough about how effective you are at doing it that way. So Chris Grier, for me, is heads and shoulders above everything else they've hired here in 25 years, and he doesn't even come close being compared to the crap that has been here. Way better. As a Dolphins fan, I am more than convinced they've got the right guy. Not because I wanted Chris Grier, not because I predicted Chris Grier, not because I said this is who they got to hire, none of that. I'm not trying to justify I'm just looking at the results in the first 2 years. And if you're not impressed, I can't help you. Because in the first year, he did the smartest thing in the world. He did an organizational enema. Something that I've been calling for years, because you had to do it. You had to flush everything out before you started new. Every time you had a person take over, they were trying to amend and add to what was there and trying to fix it. Where he said, no. We're getting rid of all the salaries, all the bad contracts. We're going to get rid of all the people that aren't productive, and we're going to start fresh here. And that first year, it was a super young team that had no idea what they were doing. By the end of the year, they were actually a pretty effective team going 5-4 and knocking out the Patriots and forcing them to play in the divisional round. In the wild card round, I'm sorry, not divisional round. Chris Grier by miles, okay? An exceptional pick for the Miami Dolphins. Folks, Onside Radio gives you a ton of options to listen to the station. You can download free apps from radio.net, from Radio FM, from Simple Radio, from Zeno Radio. Go to our website. You'll see them there on the right side, 6 different ones. Download any of these free apps there at onsideradio.com, baby. Your home for real sports talk.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
If you missed 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, you missed.
And we hit 18,953. And since then, we have recovered 73%, and we're now at all-time record highs. So there's an old saying, when there's blood in the streets, it's time to buy stocks, baby. And that was the time to buy. And another thing is, when the Uber driver tells you to buy something, you get out.
4th and 20, weekday mornings from 8 to 10 a.m., right here on OnsideRadio.com.
Hello, Inter Miami CF fans. Download the Drink AR app and play inside a first-of-its-kind virtual soccer stadium, hosted by Bodega Trevento and Inter Miami CF, and celebrate your passion for soccer from the comfort of your own home. Find the download links on our Instagram account at Treventus and get our wines delivered straight to your home with a discount for all Inter Miami CF fans. Discover Trevento, a shared passion.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
You can now watch Onside Radio daily by subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Search Onside Radio, log on, subscribe, rate, and review Onside Radio on YouTube and Twitch. Watch Toast get frustrated with Marsh. OnsideRadio.com. South Florida's home for real sports talk. You can connect with us at OnsideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. Save it on your cell phone, 844-416-8123. No better place to send your comments, ask questions, win prizes. OnsideRadio.com, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
All righty, welcome back. Gotta tell you, we are. It's pretty cool. We have, you know, we're up on the stadium. We're in the 3rd floor, so we are facing the east side. So in the mornings when the sun comes up, it is shining right through here. And now it's above the stadium, so it's not that big a deal. But I gotta say, having the shade, we have no glare on the TV now, Tito, which is a beautiful thing.
That is great.
The glare is completely gone, so when we're watching our sports here, because we watch a lot of soccer matches during the day because that's just kind of the way it breaks down. Lately, we've been watching the NCAA games, but it's nice to not have the glare. And I got to tell you, the people from A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie did an awesome, incredibly professional job. Everything, the way it looks, the aesthetics, it's perfect to a T. The way they built it in, and it's a giant shade that we have here. It's about, I would say what would you say, Tito? About maybe 9 feet long, maybe, right? Something like that. It's about.
I don't know. I'm not going to measure it out, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, the logo looks spotless.
Yeah.
And the colors are great.
Yeah. So it's a pink shade, and then it's got the Onside logo radio in black. And it is awesome, folks. They did great work. And listen, if you need a shade for your business, for your home, so you can control that AC, maybe pay a little bit less electric bill, those kind of things, or you want to get rid of the glare also, like it was affecting us, I want you to call A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie. Tell them that Big O sent you, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. A Shade Above, by the way, teamed up with Bandalux to personalize and create the Onside Radio shade in beautiful black and pink, La Rosa Negra, and to order, by the way, protection with style for your home or office like we did, call A Shade Above Window Fashions, 954-434-4774. Go to the website, ashadeaboveflorida.com. Love the space you live in, A Shade Above Fashions. And we thank them because that looks phenomenal, dude. Absolutely phenomenal. I love it. Lisa says they're showing Rousseau's pro day. Kid is huge. Does he fit the scheme for the Finns? I think he can. I think he can be a 3-4 end at times. Yeah, I think so. Now, I don't think it would be the perfect fit, but yes, I think so. Big O, your assessment of Chris Greer is spot on. Some Dolphin fans are naive to know how awesome of a GM the guy has been. If you really look at it, what he's done in the first 2 years is unheard of. As a Dolphins fan, we haven't seen anybody do things like this. Polar opposites of the last regime. Greer is kicking major butt on his deals. End of story. A soccer stadium for a team that no one goes to see while the Canes are handling money over to the Dolphins. Somebody better win a championship with all the corruption in this town. Just saying. Cap for life, bro.
Don't do it. Don't waste your time.
I know. It's like, but bro, are you stupid or ignorant?
Troll.
I know it has to be a you can't be this stupid, right? You know this is privately funded. You know that no city, no county paid for this. You know that Jorge Mas whipped out his checkbook and paid for it. The University of Miami doesn't have somebody in the private community to do that. And by the way, the stadium was 97% sold out for the entire season last year. The first 4 games were 100% sold out. Bro, Cap for life, listen, you're about this close from getting blocked from the thing. If you're doing it to troll or you're really that stupid, I would suggest you shut the hell up. Seriously. Seriously. Because I got 5 stents in my heart. I don't need stupid people on the damn chart here talking on this whole thing here. Seriously. Like, bro, grow a brain. Get educated. Understand what's going on. I tried to explain to you that FIU and FAU and Central Florida are public schools. They're publicly funded. University of Miami's private. They're in Coral Gables. Bro, some common sense. And then you talk about this place when it's privately funded. One more, bro. You get one more. I'm telling you. I don't waste any time. I certainly don't put up with a bunch of crap from anybody. No. I mean, that's the problem in our country, is that too many people are misinformed, then they talk shit, and they don't know anything, and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And then, more than anything, Cap for life, you sound incredibly stupid. To compare this to the University of Miami is asinine. Privately funded. Nobody paid for it except Jorge Mas. That's it. This is his team. This is his stadium. This is his station. He paid for all of this. Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Really. Seriously. It just really is. This is a problem with our country, bro. This is the problem with our country. This is why cases for corona are going back up again. Because people, the vaccine's here. We're free to go. Let's go. Let's just go have a party, take off our mask. Let's go. Let's just spread it all over the place. Yeah, what the hell? Man, Jesus Christ. It's some of you out there, man, you just do your homework, man, before you open your mouth. Wow. Did you guys see what this? You want stupidity? Here's Des Bryant. Okay, I don't know if you guys caught this, but Des Bryant is actually pissed off that people in the NFL aren't actually defending Deshaun Watson. So he's calling out athletes for not defending Deshaun Watson. Yeah. Seriously. He goes, I'm sorry if you have to go through this, bro. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. This needs attention so the athletes will get out of their mindset and it won't ever happen to them. A lot of powerful people truly believe they gave us our power. They only provided a platform. True or not, Deshaun Watson is his name. Athletes protecting your reputation should be number one priority. I don't see enough athletes supporting you out loud and hoping the best outcome for all parties involved. That's our problem. We support until proven guilty. The problem is, wow, Des Bryant, bro, do you have any awareness what's going on? There's 24 women involved, dude. Okay, maybe they're all lying. But if they're not, you can't publicly defend somebody that could have really done this. So if you're an athlete, see, Des Bryant has nothing to lose. He's out of the league, okay? He had to sign with the Ravens because, how many teams were offering him a contract? You know what I mean? And real receivers don't want to sign with Baltimore because they don't throw the ball. They've never even had a 900-yard receiver under Lamar Jackson. So I get it. Des Bryant has nothing to lose, so he'll say stupid-ass stuff like that. But do you think, for one moment, does Des Bryant ever consider that the guys that do have something to lose, that if you go out there publicly and start defending Deshaun Watson and he's guilty, because you don't know deep down inside, none of us know does Deshaun Watson look to me like the kind of guy that does this? No. But neither did Bill Cosby. I would have never thought Bill Cosby was the predator that he turned out to be. Never in a million years would I have said, if you showed me 50 actors in Hollywood, Bill Cosby would have been like the last one I would have chosen to be a predator. And the guy was, the ultimate predator. So who knows what Deshaun Watson did or not? I don't like the lawyer. That guy rubs me the wrong way in every way, shape, and form. That Tony Busby. He makes it look like it's a clown show. And we're talking about if it happened, we're talking about serious crimes here. And this guy's making it a dog and pony show. So there's a lot of things I don't like about the Deshaun Watson situation. But, look, if it's one, or whatever. Then it starts to 5 and 10 and 15 and 16 and now 24. 16 of them, I believe, have already filed cases against Deshaun Watson. I don't know. But it's amazing how Des Bryant is ignorant enough to actually believe what he's saying. Because, again, Des Bryant, because we kind of know que está medio loco and that he's probably not the brightest bulb in the chandelier, I think most people look at Des Bryant in his comments and they say, well, that's Des Bryant. Seriously. It's just Des Bryant. But if actually Larry Fitzgerald did it, people would be up in arms, disgusted, going after Larry. Larry would have a lot to lose for doing that. But because it's Larry Fitzgerald. We look at Larry and we look at Des Bryant completely different. We look at Des Bryant like the guy that is going to defend the stuff that that's undefensible. Okay? That's kind of the way we look at Des Bryant. Nah, ese tipo está loco. Yeah, no, that guy, and both oars don't hit the water. You know, that's Des Bryant. Wouldn't say that about Larry Fitzgerald. You'd be pissed at Larry Fitzgerald. Right? Whole different ballgame. Devontae Parker does that, people will go after Devontae Parker. Because Devontae Parker is not looked at as a crazy dude. He's looked like a normal guy. Forget about the injuries. Leave that all behind. That's not what we're talking about. Mike Evans, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They would have a lot to lose if they did it. Des Bryant, nobody pays attention to. Nobody cares. It's not important what he says because Des Bryant's not a person they take serious. But Des Bryant, my man, you need to have a little common sense, okay? You know what's also common sense? If you have employees in your business and you want to keep them safe, if you have your family at home and you want to keep them safe, I want you to call M&S Air Conditioning right now, folks. I want you to call Mike and Greg. Tell them that Big O sent you. 954-421-3680, folks. Listen, we installed a high-efficiency polarized air filter here because I wanted to make sure that the air quality here is as safe as possible. We all wear our masks, so we kind of control everything too. But I said, hey, just in case, let's put a polarized air filter here. The guys at M&S Air Conditioning explained to me everything it does, destroying the biological contaminants, improving the air quality. This is what it's all about. And at M&S Air Conditioning, folks, they are second to none when it comes to their service. They take care of the customer. So whether you need to get your air ducts clean, whether you need to, tune up that AC, whether you need to disinfect the coil, whatever is going on, I want you to call M&S Air Conditioning. Heck, maybe that AC is running out of gas, and we got summer right around the corner. You want to get a new AC? Call M&S Air Conditioning and tell them that Big O sent you. I promise you. 954-421-3680. That's 954-421-3680. Go to the website, ac-florida.com.
Every Thursday, NBA fans can catch one of the best basketball shows in the country when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host Inside the Paint. Listen to two of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. with Inside the Paint on the home for hardcore basketball fans. OnsideRadio.com.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit moretoadhd.com for additional information. That's moretoadhd.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
If you missed 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, you missed.
Turn your tweets into NFTs, which is an interesting thing. Obviously, there's not going to necessarily be a market for them.
Right.
So I could turn that tweet into an NFT, but I think it got 4 likes or something. So I don't think
You got 5. I just liked it as well. So we're sending you up. There you go. Yeah.
4th and 20, weekday mornings from 8 to 10 a.m. right here on OnsideRadio.com.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnsideRadio.com sports update.
Florida Panthers getting the win last night. They defeat the Dallas Stars 4-1. In that win, though, the Panthers lose an important player, Aaron Ekblad, going down with a knee injury. Timetable for return has not been set, although it seems like a serious injury that could sideline him for a while. Panthers take on the Red Wings tonight at home. Puck drop slated for 7 p.m. Miami Heat taking on the New York Knicks tonight in New York. The Heat will be without Victor Oladipo, who's listed as out with an illness. Kendrick Nunn has also been ruled out. Goran Dragic is probable for tonight's game after coming back from a back injury. Tip-off set for 7:30 p.m. Heat going as 4-point favorites, according to Vegas. With your Onside Sports update, I'm Tito Bonacci. Coming up next, it's more of the Onside Zone with the Big O right here, OnsideRadio.com.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Alrighty. We take it till 3. Alex Dono will take over, the man of the match. I stepped into the bullpen. He's got the fastball going like at 103 right now. So he is ready to bring it like he always does. One guy won't be bringing it anymore on our chat board. Like I said, I mean, just once I explained to the guy you're comparing a privately funded stadium to the U.S., and he hits me with tomato, I don't care. That's it. Boom, you're gone. That's the problem in our country right there. Way too many ignorant people, and they don't want to actually, really understand what's going on in life. So they just have their own agenda, and that's it. That's all they do. They live by that agenda. They don't live by the reality. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people were fooled for 4 years. Let's see, what else do we have here? If you want to get in, 888-441-4623. The text line, 844-416-8123. Oscar De La Hoya announces a July 3rd fight. We don't know who the opponent is. And, we got Tyson and Holyfield. I got to tell you something. We are such a loser society. I mean, anybody... Seriously, some of you out there, are you looking forward to Tyson Holyfield? Are you buying that fight? How is it that you could be interested in this? I wasn't interested in Tyson fights towards the end of his career anymore.
I think Tyson still has some value. De La Hoya is boring as hell.
What value is Tyson? He's entertaining.
Yeah, but he has the allure of that one time he was the greatest. He was
so was Holyfield.
Right. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I think Mike carries that. De La Hoya, to me, no. De La Hoya, all of De La Hoya's hot air went out the moment he lost to Mayweather.
Will he come out in fishnets?
I don't get what that means.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Put Oscar De La Hoya women's underwear. Don't do it on the computer in the studio.
You know what? I don't
do it on your laptop.
I'm not going to do this.
Do it on your phone.
I don't want to do it
There's
at all.
There's no nudity, but there's a. He got. You need to check it out.
I don't trust you on that.
Hey, I'm telling you the truth, bro. Those of you on the chat board right now, because there's at least quite a few people on the chat board. Am I lying when I say Oscar De La Hoya women's underwear? Am I lying? Send it in on the chat board. See if Tito sees it. He thinks I'm BSing him, actually.
No, I just don't want to see it.
Well, that's a whole different ballgame, but you didn't say that. You said, I don't trust you. You think I was trying to trick you into something. I'm telling you. Okay? It's a funny picture. Did you see it?
No, I'm not looking it up.
Look it up, bro. Trust me. Look it up. Oscar De La Hoya, women's underwear. Just put it. Look, GP Trap. Not lying. Some of you may not even know about it. You know? Picture that got out. And when it gets out, it's not going anywhere. It's not disappearing. So now if he comes out like that on the ring, that might be interesting. You know? I think he has heels and everything in that picture. Does he have heels? Or is it just the fishnets you see or whatever, if I remember correctly? It's been a long time. But it's an image that once you see it, you just kind of...
To my point, though, I'm just saying, like, De La Hoya does nothing in terms of, like, getting boxing fans excited again. I would literally rather watch Muhammad Ali's corpse try to fight than De La Hoya.
Mike No Go Zone says, De La Hoya says that he was high on coke when that photo was taken. Yeah. See, the problem is where he's full of crap doesn't matter how high you are, you know what you're wearing, dude. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to stop you. If you don't want to wear it, you're not going to wear it, no matter how high you are, okay, or how drunk. All right? I'm sorry. It's just, that doesn't fly, right? None of us believe. Everybody's been high or drunk, really high, really drunk. And if they told you, hey, put on this, fishnets and stockings and all, you're not doing it. There's no part of you that's doing it. You're only doing it if you want to do it. Not that there's anything wrong with it. You want to do it, that's fine with me. But I'm just saying, if he comes out on the ring like that, then that might be a whole different ballgame. That's all. Did you see the picture finally?
Dude, I don't know how many times I don't want to see it.
It's like I'm trying to make him watch Meatballs or something. Trying to make him watch Rocky. God, it's like pulling teeth with this young man. The internet is forever and ever. Amen to that. One of those pics you can't unsee. No, that's the problem. That's right. You just like I don't remember the picture completely, but let me see if I can pull it up because some of you out there may not even, Oscar De La Hoya women's underwear. Okay, let's see. Images. There we go. That's it. Yeah, you don't see the heels. It's him boxing and fishnets. Okay. There you go. Now, if he goes out to the ring like that, okay, just in case if there's any glare. There was glare.
What an experience right now. This is
Isn't it?
Scintillating.
Isn't it a great experience? Huh? Isn't it a great experience? Huh?
Phenomenal stuff here.
Hey, we're educating people. There are some people out there that probably, just like you, Big O's full of it, this and that. When you know me, I'm brutally honest, bro, about everything. If I screw up, I'm going to tell you, hey, man, I screwed up. I did it. My bad, man. I'm sorry, So, yeah, that was me. I was wearing fishnets. What can I tell you? You did see it now, huh? There you go. So if he comes out like that, then maybe. But no, we are pathetic as a society that we actually want to watch Holyfield and Tyson, two guys that are, 54 and 57? Are you kidding me, dude? How desperate are we? And then we're going to watch Oscar De La Hoya against some unnamed opponent now? I'm sorry. Who the hell wants to watch this, dude? I love boxing. But that's how bad boxing is. They can't come up with the good fights. They can't put together the best fighters. But we could actually put together Mayweather and Pacquiao 7 years after it should have been fought, and we can then put Tyson and Holyfield back together again 40 years later. I mean, and if your friend, you are entitled to this. If your buddy says, I can't wait for the De La Hoya fight, you are more than entitled to punch him in the face. Okay? Seriously. Just punch him in the face. Because your buddy probably deserves it. I mean, you're paying for that? You're paying for Holyfield Tyson? Come on, man. Man, we are desperate as a society for entertainment if we got to settle for that. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. Alex Dono gets ready for the man of the match. That is next.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
For over 20 years, Mr. Glass has been committed to the safety and satisfaction of our clients. Our products are the culmination of innovative engineering, aesthetic appeal, and the highest levels of quality. Through our legacy, Mr. Glass strives to impart the true meaning of quality, service, and sustainability to new generations. Reputation, experience, and trust is why clients choose Mr. Glass. Live the future now. Locate a dealer near you today.
If you missed one-on-one on Sunday, you missed this.
The character over talent kind of perspective. Sometimes, you kind of do have to deal with not necessarily a headache of a player, but you do have to deal with a certain type of player to get a certain type of production,
A player who needs to be managed.
Mm-hmm.
It's much like that child you were, and I was that kid in elementary school where, I did my work, but after I did my work, I caused trouble. I was a little bit of a challenge to teach, and some teachers didn't want me in their class. That doesn't mean that I wasn't talented. That doesn't mean that I wasn't smart. That doesn't mean that I wasn't going to be somebody. That doesn't mean that I wasn't going to be a heavy contributor to the school or, whatever it was. But, hey, I just needed a little bit more coaching than some of the other people did.
One-on-one, every Sunday morning from 9 to 11, only at OnsideRadio.com.
Can I get a captain?
Captain and what?
Captain and Ginger.
I can't hear you.
Captain and Ginger. He was a Captain and Ginger. Captain and Ginger. He was a Captain and Ginger.
Captain Morgan, official partner of Major League Soccer.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
Hey, it's Big O. Air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
At Baptist Health, we are ready
To serve. To treat.
To safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits.
With skilled surgeons.
Advanced medicine.
And multidisciplinary teams. We're ready for new arrivals.
And new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
anything that comes our way.
with exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health.
And we are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready
to care for you.
You're listening to OnsideRadio.com. Catch up anytime by downloading the MyTuner Radio app. OnsideRadio.com, South Florida's true hometown station.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty, it is the final segment of the show. In this segment, of course, we always do our little crossover and talk to the next host, which is always the man of the match, and Alex Dono. By the way, we thank Omar Kelly and George Sedano for joining us on the program. Good job by both of them. We appreciate them as always. So, Dono, are you looking forward to Oscar De La Hoya?
Not really, no.
Fishnets? If he comes out in fishnet, dude, if he comes out in
I would watch
fishnets,
that, yes.
That's where I keep saying
I
it
would
becomes
subscribe to his
interesting.
OnlyFans before I would watch him fight again.
Exactly, dude. I mean, give me a break, bro. It just, we're sad, bro. We're a sad society.
Yeah, listen, there's a market for whatever people are willing to pay for.
No,
you
yeah,
know,
there is.
when they had the Triller event, Tyson versus Roy Jones, you know, I watched that. You know, this was, 3 or 4 months ago. It was a lot more entertaining than I expected, right? Like, because I made fun of it a lot before the event.
We all did.
And then the actual event, as long as you go into it knowing I didn't just pay $50 for world-class boxing. Like, it's almost like you have to look at it like you're paying for a pro wrestling event.
You're right.
Right? I mean, we got our guys like Sean
right.
Stanley, who probably spends like $800 a year buying all these WrestleManias and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you have to go into it that way. I'm looking to be entertained. Like, I'm not looking to watch the best boxers in the world. I'm watching guys who retired 20 years ago or YouTubers who are now boxing. And
Can't argue
if
with
you
that.
go in with that sort of an expectation, it's not so bad.
I can't argue with that. Dono, you no longer have to deal with the glare on your screen anymore, thanks to a beautiful shade.
I'm loving this. I'm looking at this for the first time. You know, I walked into this room 3 minutes ago, and this is my first time seeing the new shade. I love how it's got our logo on there, Onside Radio.
Look how it's, and up there, it's just
really
seamless,
nice,
dude. It's like they did a shade above.
They
dude.
did a beautiful job.
God,
I was
they
not
did
expecting this. Like, I'm blown away. And I feel like I'm in a different room. Like, I feel like I'm in a different studio. And you're right. When I'm watching and betting on all these soccer games that are on in the middle of the day, look, I have
now you don't have to move this way to like, go around the glare or something.
Yeah, look, I've got a dilemma, a betting dilemma for tonight because I'm looking at some of these point spreads, and Canada is favored by 5.5 goals against the Cayman Islands.
Hey,
But
you know, I forgot to ask you guys.
Yeah.
Did you win that game that you took the 7 goals?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
San Marino.
Yes.
San Marino only lost by 5 to
Wow.
England. They were at 7 points. That was the thrill of my life. And so after winning that one,
England took it easy on them.
they did. They took it easy on them. And after winning that bet, I'm looking through the spreads today, and Canada has a World Cup qualifier against the Cayman Islands, and they're favored by 5.5 goals. So I'm like, Canada, it's America Junior. They've got a couple good players. You know, Alphonso Davies is really what really. But then I'm looking at Cayman Islands. They only ever play like other teams from the Caribbean. So I don't know. Like when they're usual
you got to watch
opponents.
out the Cayman Islands because I hear they're all valet parkers. And so that's kind of what they do on their off time. They, you know, from running back and forth in the hotels, parking cars,
That's right.
they play soccer.
So
it's kind of, I heard that even when they go get your car at the Cayman
Yeah.
Islands, they're dribbling a soccer ball all the way to your car, and then they come back and they drive the car.
And for that reason,
that's their practice.
I'm tempted to bet the Cayman Islands giving Canada 5.5 goals. But I can't find any record of them in the last 2 years playing a team outside the Caribbean. So I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, if they have a 3-2 victory 6 months ago against the U.S. Virgin Islands, what does that tell me about how they stack up with Canada?
I do have a scouting report. I can tell you they can run because they're used to it. with parking cars, so they are in great shape. So I can't tell you if they can play or not, but I can tell you that they run a lot.
I just need them to lose by 5 or less.
These are pro valet parkers. These are some of the best valet parkers. What do you got going on today?
Oh, man. Well, we're going to talk a lot of basketball today. We're going to talk some hockey as well. The Ekblad injury was just horrific. I feel so bad for him.
It took away from the game.
It really did,
Like, as they're winning, you're like, they won, but
you
they
know what?
lost. They won, but they lost.
I was really impressed with how the Panthers closed out that game.
I'm with you.
They had a 3-1 lead. They actually added to it, and they won 4-1. It's got to be so hard to play after seeing what they saw. So we're going to talk plenty of hockey. I'm going to review UFC 260 from the weekend. We'll talk some Dolphins. We'll talk a lot of basketball today. Ira Winterman's going to join me in the 3 o'clock hour. Jordan Schultz is going to join me in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll have our winners and losers from the weekend as well. So a lot coming up.
There you go. Stay tuned. Don't touch it, baby. Leave that iPad, that computer in your car. Keep it locked. Man of the Match is next. He'll take you till 6. Then it's Michael Christian in Game Night, baby, right here on your home for South Florida Sports Talk, OnsideRadio.com.
We'll be right back to the Man of the Match with Alex Dano. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You're listening to the home of Inter Miami CF.
His strike is a decent one. It's fired into the top right corner. Gonzalo Higuain opens his account for Inter Miami.
OnsideRadio.com, where the passion for La Rosa Negra runs deep.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
You're listening to this station with more live and local sports talk than anyone else in South Florida. OnsideRadio.com, broadcasting from South Florida to the world. Welcome back to the Man of the Match with Alex Dano.
It's all yours. Just keep it right here.
You can reach out anytime on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
Heavyweight champion of the world. Francis, how does that feel?
Oh, Joe, I don't know if I can find a word, a vocabulary to express this, but it feels so amazing, bro. You know, even though I've been fighting winning fight, but I had this thing inside of me that I never released it. Since this was like a promise that I made to myself since when I was young, you know, to be one day in the first stage and to prove the doubter and people that thought that I was beneath them, that, you know, it wasn't my fault. And if ever I have an opportunity, I'll do something great and even better, even greater.
Yes! Oh, it is. It is! Man of the Match with Alex Dano. Oh, I am Alex Dano. And I'm with you guys for the next 3 hours here on OnsideRadio.com. I love the new shade that we have here inside the studio. I mean, in the afternoon, the glare